Good day again. Long time no see, viewers.
Long time no see, friends. Welcome to another super exciting episode of Wrestling on the Rocks. And I say super...
Yeah. This is going to be a B show if ever there was one.
Yeah. Hopefully, though, it'll be show number 2. It won't be the first show of many shows. But, as you can see, again, we are without a central figure in the show. That's right, Ref Marsh is not with us today, and he's no longer with us. I'm just kidding. He's
We don't know that. He could not be.
He's no longer in the state.
He's no longer in the state for now.
Yeah.
But,
He's on the run.
Yeah, but fret not. He will be back. He will still be part of the show. It's just he's got other obligations right now, and we are here to pick up the slack.
Yes.
Also, we were supposed to be joined by Kevlar. This was supposed to be the first official debut of Kevlar and GR Lunar
Jackass.
on the same show, but no, that didn't happen. So, Kevlar, if you're watching this, asshole.
It's okay. I still tolerate you.
Just kidding. So, damn, a lot's happened since last week. Neither you or I were on the show last week.
Yeah.
And now we're just hosting this bitch.
Being hopeful.
Yeah, being helpful. So, damn, yeah, I don't even know where the hell.
How did your week in wrestling start?
How did my week in wrestling start?
Yeah.
Started with SmackDown and then went back to NXT. So, but we'll go chronologically because that's usually what we do anyway.
I tried to go old school and listen to a show while I was cutting down stuff in my yard. It is really, with the current commentary team, it is really fucking hard to listen to wrestling.
Yeah.
While you're doing stuff, no.
And it sucks too because I love Jim Ross. I just don't like what he's commentating on right now.
I don't like him. I feel like him in AEW. What's happening is he just isn't a fit for it because I get what they want. They want the voice of wrestling. The voice of wrestling doesn't do good with silly shit.
Yeah.
And he's not doing well here.
When he's having to, when he's getting people's names wrong, or he's having promotions wrong, doing corrective meta commentating, she should be going for the pin right now. He's doing a lot more work than he needs to do right now. And it's not his fault. It's really the shows and the format.
And you didn't watch AEW this week, did you?
No.
Okay. There is some kind of funny things that occurred there with commentary this week.
Oh, perfect. So we'll just
saw this.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let producer and Clump talk majority AEW. I'll put in my 2 cents, but it's just if you've tuned in with us in the past, AEW has. I was really excited about AEW, but lately it's rubbed me the wrong way, and it's just become something where I don't have a lot of interest in, and I'm hoping that changes in 2020. I'll give it another shot when I find a reason to. But in the meantime, I will watch from a distance.
Yeah.
Sorry, producer, if you hear this voice, that's me. I'm kind of off camera, so don't be alarmed.
Yes, producer's off camera, but she will be popping in from time to time to put in her 2 cents. Yeah.
Let's start off with the thing you don't know about. Let's start with AEW.
Yeah, let's talk about AEW then.
So, it was a show. It was okay. There's some things that actually had me a little bit excited, but there was also, a fair amount of things that I was more meh about. There wasn't a critically annoying thing to me this episode. But it was, and it shouldn't be that that's a step up sometimes, but I feel like AEW thus far for me has been highlights and lowlights. And in the sense of there hasn't been a show that's bored me to death where I don't want to watch it, but it's been man, I really wish you didn't fucking do that. Or, okay, that's cool. Diamonds in the rough. There's a lot of rough.
Yeah, there's a lot of corn in there. That's a good way to put it. There's a lot of corn.
A lot of corn in this pile.
A lot of corn in this pile. That being said, there are still some good things about it. I'm an Orange Cassidy fan.
Yes.
And I know Ref Marsh is 100% against that, but I think he is unique, and I think he is entertaining.
You didn't see him do so highlight of this show was Orange Cassidy
Oh, I'm sure.
he was gonna go for a moonsault, and everyone's like, and he just fell fucking back, and that broke me because it was just like, is he gonna? And then just falls back.
So he felt like he was going for a moonsault or a shooting star.
Well, it looked like a moonsault. Everyone looked like it looked like
moonsault. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
spinning flip, and it was like, oh shit, is he gonna do something? And he just fell, and it was amazing. Like, okay, that's fucking great. Like, hands in pockets, bam.
Stressful.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
So yeah, AEW this week came to you from the home of Memphis Wrestling, somewhere in Mississippi. One person I was like, I follow on that likes wrestling was talking about like they're from England. They did not understand the geography of America. Memphis is kind of weirdly situated where parts of Memphis are in Mississippi and Arkansas. Like, so you'll have these weird like outliers. It's like how the majority of Kansas City is actually Missouri.
Yeah.
Where the nice parts of Kansas City are in Missouri.
Right.
Yeah. So
same situation, kind of.
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Well, makes sense.
So, but it was cool. They had a big figure in Memphis wrestling, not Jerry the King Lawler.
I mean, he's the king though of Memphis wrestling. I thought.
Nope, he's got a legend contract with WWE. They're not getting him. So they had a commentator from it that I didn't know about.
And what's his name?
Fucking forget.
Okay.
But he had a lovely voice.
Big star. Yeah. Obviously a big star and made a huge impact on the show.
But Jim Ross did put him up quite a bit. I was like, oh, that's sweet. And then I totally forgot about him. But we started off with that gentleman guest commentating. It was Omega and Page versus Private Party, and further building up the storyline of Adam Page splitting with the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of like little rough spots where it looked like they weren't going to get together, and they did come together in the end, and they won. Omega and Hangman Page won with a really cool V-trigger buckshot lariat into a one-winged angel, which looked great.
Mm-hmm.
This got me excited because I do think one thing I would like to see is a cracking of the Elite.
Yeah, so the last time I watched AEW, I believe Hangman Page and Kenny Omega had a tag team match at that time as well. And it looked like there was kind of some it looks like they weren't 100% together.
Yeah.
Especially when I think Adam Page got the victory, Kenny Omega went to, try and celebrate with him, and Adam Page was just like either in the zone or just kind of
turned away from the hand,
snubbed him off. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that got me thinking, is there going to be like a little, story between the two of them?
Yeah. And I think that's what they're going at. I will say the weakness of this was, if you didn't catch any of this, commentary told you about it over and over again. Commentary on this match, like, for the entire match, was less talking about what was going on in the ring and more was talking about, Hangman Page, there's some roughness here with the Elite, and it just felt persistent, and it didn't feel subtle. It felt to me like we have a script here, and it says we have to push this narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I could get a few things, but it felt so blatant that it took away any subtlety. It felt very, very like amateurish. It felt to me like the thing that frustrated me is it felt like when I would watch like all of these guys in other promotions and they'd be on commentary, like when you watch like Kevin Steen on commentary in PWG, he would be more subtle or blatant, or he would do this better.
Yeah.
Or other people would do this better when they were guest commentating for Ring of Honor, for PWG, and it was like, this is on fucking TNT, and it felt terrible. And these are not guests; these are the people you're putting in this.
Right. I think breaking up the Elite is probably the best move for them. I think that as a faction makes the company look like they're playing favorites, and that again, AEW is all about the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that should be a high priority for the bookings, for the people in the back, to really push narrative, because I think the Elite as a group really stifles a lot of story.
Yes, and I think having Adam Page, there's a built-in perfect story for him to break up, because you have this the rest of the Elite, they're not just talent, they're backstage, they're bookers, they're EVPs, and he's been in that show in equal parts to them.
Mm-hmm.
He's been built up by them, and he's really a part of the Elite in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not backstage.
Right.
He's not an EVP.
Right.
I think they've always portrayed him as the next big star, and I think him splitting up would be amazing because it lets him go further. Because I also see Adam Page over anyone else being a breakout star that could, become someone in WWE. He could become someone anywhere. And I think there's a real level to maybe the reason he's not an EVP is he knows that.
Right.
Maybe the reason he's not backstage is that he sees himself growing beyond this, and this putting him as a heel is a really good way to let him play the middle. And
see, I was just going to ask you too. Him separating, is the separation a heel turn for him, or is it something different?
I think it'd be a good heel turn for him. I also think it could be a really cool thing if I think they're trying to portray it as a heel turn, but I can see it as indifference.
Right.
Him as a heel would be cool, but I could also see it being the Young Bucks, Kenny, and eventually Cody, but Cody more becoming a heel because he's part of the Elite, all turning heel. Because I think that would be really cool too, is yes, we've had authority figures that are heels in wrestling forever, but them being so over, them being such a unique figure in wrestling, like as a group, would be fascinating to see them become heels, and a great challenge I would love to see them rise to become heels that are hated.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed for the Elite to kind of form the new corporation.
Yes.
The corporation of AEW. I think that'd be kind of cool, actually.
And fucking Tony Khan would love to be on TV.
Oh, Tony Khan would be all about that shit.
Yeah, and he could be a great part of this too, is just doing that. I really, really, truly think that you can't go wrong with this, and I'm excited, and it does bring me back into AEW more and more, is what's going to happen with Adam Page. Just like I watch it, and in many ways I'm watching to see Cody do stuff. It doesn't matter what is around him. Cody does a fantastic job. Cody goes to work and shit looks great. The rest of the stuff I can kind of deal with. I'm done with Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
I'm fairly done with Jon Moxley. But I'm cool seeing Cody, and I'm really excited to see what Adam Page does.
That's so sad. Moxley, it was such a big deal that he came out.
Oh, it gets better.
I think. Well, I think there's still time. I think Moxley can still turn around and become relevant again. We'll get to that.
So one of my highlights for the week is Page.
Okay.
The thoughts of what's happening there, it has me excited. Now, next thing after that we went to was they had Riho versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's Championship.
So when I did a review of what happened on the show, I actually put this as one of my bottoms.
Yes, it is absolutely one of my bottoms. It was kind of, I was excited, thinking about this more and more, and then I kept going to this as an absolute bottom because I feel like this to finish the segment before it and really hurt the segment after.
Yeah. Well, not just the fact, for me, it's not just that Riho won that pisses me off. Again, because Riho is not, I don't understand why she's the women's champion right now. She doesn't do it for me. She doesn't portray a champion aura that I think someone like Chris Statlander could have, because she's a bigger girl and she could do a lot cooler stuff. But for Riho to go over, and then for what happened to transpire after the match, right? It was after the match?
It was in it.
It was in the match? Yeah, they showed up during the match too. Okay, yeah. So I'll let you go ahead and cover that part.
So in the match, we have a match that Chris Statlander is looking good.
Yeah.
Brandy's on commentary.
Yeah.
And in the middle of it, Awesome Kong and the other person who's part of their weird order come out.
The guy that they debuted?
Yeah.
So Dr. Luther.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, this is my weird moment on commentary. So Brandy's trying her best to be a heel, and it comes off petty and shitty.
Oh, really?
Brandy's like shit-talking random people. Brandy's shit-talking Excalibur. Like, why do you wear this? And it's not coming off well. At one point, she goes like, do you take that mask off to shower? And he's like, yeah. Like, he's not responding like he's like, yeah. Well, do you ever take it off? Yeah. And he's just like that.
I'm a normal guy.
And
Logical questions.
and it wasn't landing, and I think it was either he wasn't in it, or to me, I throw it on her because it really, it felt like she kept going at this and not changing her gears and was trying to rile him up in a weird way. And he, at the end of it, she goes, well, why do you wear it all the time? And he's like, I'm a luchador.
That's what.
Yeah, it was so, and then JR pulls it back in because it's getting to the point of just being like, guys, this doesn't sound this. You guys sound like you're legit swiping at each other. Fuck off. So he pulls it back in. But I really hated how this went. I hated how Riho and Chris Statlander got taken out by Awesome Kong and that other person, which I keep fucking forgetting the name, but I also don't care about the goddamn angle. Luther comes out. Hikaru Shida comes out of the crowd, and Britt Baker stays out there.
Oh, yeah. So Hikaru Shida, I think, was like kind of standing around.
They were ringside just watching.
They were both ringside together, kind of just watching. And so Shida comes in to be a face, and the other supposed face, Britt Baker,
Does not
do shit. And not only does not do shit, but has kind of a bitchy look on her face about it, too.
And I think they're trying to put her in the middle as this like passive kind of heel, but just I don't know. I mean, I think you have so many storylines. You have a lot of storylines going on within the women's division with not a lot of time. This is a promotion that puts a lot of their stuff in the ring, which is fine, but their segments do not include women. They're not doing like backstage segments with women talking. They're not building stories, so we're kind of expected to get it. And Marsha's critique has always been, I'm supposed to give a shit about this and I have no background to it. And I feel that the way that they've treated the women more than the men, I agree with that, is we have all these stories with the women that we're expected to give a shit about, that they don't have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They don't have vignettes. They don't have things there. So we just have it kind of laid out in the ring like this, and it's just like, whatever. Oh, also, Brandy was shitting on the gimmicks of Britt Baker and Chris Statlander in ways that sounded so dumb, because she's like, she's not an alien, she's just a woman. And it's like, you're the person who has people cut fucking hair.
Yeah.
I'm pretty serious. It sounds almost like they're just making it up as they go. Which is
I think
always great.
I think that kind of aligns with what we've heard of how backstage works. It's a lot of free form. It's a lot of improv. It's just kind of anything goes. I think they have very little structure.
There is improv, but then there's also like, how much effort are you really putting into whatever amount of time you have?
Yeah.
I think that's the difference that we're seeing, because we won't name promotions, but shorter shows are giving us background, which is helpful for me.
I feel like it goes into like the debate over like over-scripted promos versus under-scripted promos, and I feel like what's happened here is you have the other end of it, where there is like, when you have an improv course, you still have premises. That's the nature of it. And don't feel like we're giving people premises, or they're giving the absolute bare minimum, like, you bad guy, be bad guy. And they're not telling them like, here's your bullet points to get like, it's, if we came into the show and I did not have things written down, this might not go very well.
Yeah.
Because
Our earlier shows from last year.
We need some, I don't have to have like an essay written down, but
word for word, verbatim.
Exactly.
It just needs some structure, guys. Bullet points.
Yeah.
Themes, like what you want to get across. Like, just, you guys need to straighten this out. Go ahead and hire us. I'll shoot my resume to you guys, AEW. You can find me at LinkedIn.
I can beat the shit out of Jimmy Havoc backstage for you, Tony.
He will staple him.
I'm fairly certain I could kick Jimmy Havoc's ass.
Probably.
Yeah. If nothing else, I can sit on the fucker and break him in half.
Jimmy Havoc, if you're watching, fuck you, man. Just kidding.
We're
we're not here to start beef. We're just joking.
We're starting the Impossible Burgers of beef.
I definitely smash them. Never mind.
You swear it's beef, but then you're like, no, it's not. It's work.
So after that, it goes into Sammy Guevara versus Christopher Daniels.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Which I think they're playing an angle, and they're talking about it on commentary a bit about Christopher Daniels maybe being a bit over the hill.
Yes.
And they're working in that Chris can't do certain moves, like the Arabian Moonsault botch. And I like the way they're doing it, because it kind of speaks to how good of a worker is Chris Daniels, that he can work and kind of make things not look great, or he's working off of these moments.
He's working off of botch. He's like, fuck it, we'll just use botch as story.
Which is cool, but I also kind of feel like partly like weird in the middle. Like, I feel like I'm being worked because I'm like, I get this, but also I'm like, I don't know if I want you to work off fucking up.
Yeah, but it makes sense for him, because he is
The best.
He is tenured. He is very. I was gonna say very old. He is one of the older, one of the older talents on the roster. So having a story like that where he doesn't have the wheels that he used to have or can't do the things he used to do makes sense for him, and I think he recognizes it. Mm-hmm. If you've seen him in his training seminars, he is so smart and he is so knowledgeable in wrestling. Mm-hmm. He's so fun to watch. So I trust he knows what he's doing. And
yeah, I think it's a clever new gimmick because I mean there have been like you look online and Squared Circle there's a lot of people saying God damn he looks bad like just his body, but he's like responding and working into it. I mean like he looked kind of like out of it like
worse than Jericho,
worse than me.
Oh, nice.
He needs
better than Jericho.
Yeah, better than Jericho needs to buy these things called Spanx and wear shirts because I do that, and you know what? I look better if you cut me open. Like if you took a box cutter to me, I would double in size. Be a big hairy marshmallow, like Hard Marshmallow that fell in a barber shop.
Oh my god. Oh god, it just rolled around everywhere.
Yeah. I liked the match. I think it was good. Sammy, I really liked.
I think Sammy's starting to grow on people.
Yes.
I still think he's kind of an asshole though. I don't know.
He's good at being an asshole. It's like him and MGF. I like them because they are really going back to that old school kayfabe. They're dicks. Mm-hmm. If they weren't, and I think this, as you can tell, if they were truly this shitty in real life in every way, mm-hmm. they wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Because this is a promotion of Friends.
Yeah, that's true.
But they're both such good assholes.
Yeah.
They work. I mean, I love Sammy. And so after the match ends, Pentagon comes out, mm-hmm. Challenges things, and then the Dark Order come out. And they cut a promo, Evil Uno, you are not as good mm-hmm. as you used to be, mm-hmm. but you can be. Mm-hmm. And Daniels says no, throws the mask. It's a big fight. SCU finally comes out with the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
And it's a big smash up, but
faces come out to fight the Dark Order, which usually has a lot of numbers, so it makes sense for...
And here's why I hate the last segment so much, why I hate that women's match so much. This was cool.
Yeah.
I like seeing the Dark Order do things. I think the Dark Order has a lot of potential. I like that they're recruiting people. Mm-hmm. Evil Uno in this shit it's remarkably similar to the shit Brandy Rhodes is doing, but better.
Oh, yeah.
So all that in the match directly preceding this, coming into this, I feel like just diminished what the Dark Order was, and it made it one of my absolute weak points of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I look at it, thinking about it right now, Dr. Luther would probably be a better fit for Dark Order. And I don't know why they didn't do that. Probably because they are teasing the I don't know what they're calling him, the Grand Supreme Leader of the Dark Order. They are teasing a leader for him.
The Grand Dragon of the Dark
Order.
No,
I'm not going to go the Grand Wizard or anything like that. But they are teasing that there is a higher leader than Evil Uno.
Yeah.
It would be kind of cool if they had more, if there were more ranks, and that's something that they did in the Dark Order. Like Dr. Luther was like a captain or something of there. Some anime shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. And I think that makes sense because they have the peons that they're cool to send out. They look like ship. That's fine because they're not trained and it makes sense. They're just like it's.
They're extras. They're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're gonna send like, wave after wave of just crap at you, and then you'll have a dungeon boss at the end of it.
They're like the Putty Patrol.
Yes,
that's basically what I think of when I see them. Mm-hmm. And then like he's like Evil Uno is like the leader of that division kind of thing because they all share like the same masks. So it'd be cool if like Dr. Luther was like also a leader, and then he had like a bunch of bald guys. And not mask guys, like guys that look like them, kind of. I don't know.
Dwayne Gill appearing. Yeah. That'd be better. Yeah. Yes. I really like the idea of the Dark Order. I like that idea a lot because that's a neat way of building stable. It's not just legitimately having like we have ranks of nameless fucks.
Yeah.
And then we have people you care about, and then we have some upper echelon guy, and I'm excited continually, but when you proceed it with this and we can book this better, Don't do it. And I don't say that like in a throwing out my opinion way. We could book this shit better.
Yeah, we could do some
Hire
good booking.
Yeah, hire us. So that happened. Semi defeated that. Then you had one of my highlights of the week. We had Cody and Dustin with Arn with Double A as their coach versus Lucha Brothers, and I liked the inclusion of Double A.
Yeah.
I liked him knocking the chair out of Phoenix's hand. I think also a slow part of this will be that Cody here is a face and is trying to be a pure good, or this weird like positive force. And he continually brings in people from his childhood, but he doesn't understand bad guys because he only worked around... When he was a bad guy, he only worked around bad guys. So he's like, these guys are good, they're my buddies. So they like me, even though they're bad. So he's bringing in members of the Horsemen. And I don't trust Arn. I know Arn's going to fuck him over, and that's fine. I'm excited for that. Yeah. You know, like, it's going to continue that way, and I'm cool with that. MJF.
Yeah.
I want to see this more and more. I want DDP to turn on him even.
Damn.
Although maybe DDP will be the one person behind him, but like this goes this way. I want the Elite to turn bad and have Cody be like, what? Because the Elite in many forms, in many other promotions, were heels.
Yeah.
So I could see this where he's in this weird spot where he's trying to be a face, and it's somebody trying to be good, but all the people around him are these negative influences. And maybe that's why he split and stays with Paige.
That's a pretty cool dynamic. I like that.
Again, hire us. I have a degree in journalism from the University of Arizona. It's not a great school. It's not a great degree. I have writing-ish samples.
Writing-ish.
Yeah. I wrote opinions.
So, Cody and Dustin get the pinfall?
Cody and Dustin. Dustin gets the pinfall. And Dustin's finisher is the last bit. And I thought that was awesome. I really like when Dustin worked. And Dustin looked fantastic. Dustin, like Chris Daniels, can fucking go. He goes so good right now. And it's like, you look at it and you're like, man, you are so much more than Goldust. Goldust is what I fell in love with you as, but you are so good as you. You know, I'm so happy about this.
Well, you look back at his other personas that he was trying out, like, he's definitely a twisted fuck. He definitely has a lot of creativity. And I've already said this several times that I think he should be the next champion of AEW.
Yes. I could see that. I think that'd be good. I think he could.
But that's my fantasy booking.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it should be. The way I kind of book this is Cody put himself in a position where he can't win the world title. He can't be in a world title match. He should be thrown in a position where he actually earns that title, earns that match. MJF is like, no, blah, blah. You know, they say that he can't do it, so he puts in a ringer. Who's the ringer? Well, none other than his brother.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
The Natural.
The Natural.
Yeah.
And I think it would just make a lot of sense to have another vet take the title from Jericho as a face and then drop it to the next big heel like MJF. Because I think then MJF should beat Dustin to be the next champion after that.
Yeah.
And then that would just really drive the Cody MJF storyline. But, you know, I don't know what their long-term booking is, what they want to do with that. It might be too soon. That's just kind of what I have in my head.
I think it'd be cool if they long-term book this out. What happened is Dustin gets it. MJF gets it. MJF finally gives a match to Cody. Cody wins, but can't have the belt. It's like, Cody, are you willing to fight me knowing this belt isn't on the line? Yeah, knowing that no matter what, I'm still going to be your champion. I think that'd be kind of cool, you know?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
And it also elevates Cody to that position where he can... They're doing fairly well at building storylines aside from championships, which I think is a thing that they do better than WWE. At least they're trying, because sometimes in WWE it feels like a lot of their storylines are really hokey, really crappy, or it's a story... they're so down card or it's for a title. And I think you need storylines that can main event a pay-per-view regardless of a title. Like Triple H and Shawn. That was a fantastic story. And we didn't need a title in the middle of it for a lot of it. And that's great, you know? So, I liked that. That was Dustin was my highlight for the week, or one of my highlights. Then we had MJF come out, cut a promo. And then DDB came out and was kind of weak point of the promo. But of really
fair.
a lot of just like kind of crappy like insults where he's just like, I don't like when.
Now, is it because he was bad, or is it because he's paired up with such a great speaker in MJF that he just can't cut a promo like MJF can?
Yes.
Okay.
I think what it was that it was, well, I think DDP can cut a great promo. I think what it was DDP was trying to do a G-rated promo with G-rated insults against MJF, who's TV 14.
Yeah.
So he comes out and he gives, like, I'm okay with not cussing, but have a good burn, not like a, he came out and he gave this super dumb, silly, like, MJF stands for this, and he called his bad guy, like, Waldorf salad.
So he's stealing my jokes, in other words.
Yeah.
He's stealing my jokes, a son of a bitch.
Well, give it to DDP, but it didn't, like, it didn't work, because DDP is also trying to be, like, this, like, elder statesman, and an angry old guy to me should be like, fuck you, like, should be Scott Steiner.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
He should come out and just be like, listen here, you, like, young piece of shit.
You little fuck.
I would love if DDP got bleeped. I think it'd be cool in AEW if they got bleeps. Because those are cool, impactful moments.
They should be cussing.
Yes! Yeah, it's not about, like, getting in what you can. Get bleeps, because those are cool, and they get moments, you know?
They sound great for camera.
Yeah.
Like, they're good. Yeah, I do recall MJF tweeting during this promo while DDP was talking, and he tweets like, does this old fart ever shut up?
Yeah. It's great.
Like, mid-promo, just tweets live.
Yeah. Which I love.
That's such a millennial thing for him to do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like MJF.
Yeah.
I mean, MJF is always one of the highlights of AEW. He can do, in my eyes, as a heel no wrong. He's the best heel.
Yeah, he makes good calls. He does good stuff as a heel.
When he does it, like, even like when he has the signing and he has kids come up, does it in a way where it's still heelish, but it's such a good evil heel where it's a balance where, like, it's like Disneyland. You know it's bullshit. You know you're the guy's not Mickey, but you're able to be, like, still happy in the moment, you know. And he does it well. Like, I love, like, when he has somebody come with the kids. He's like, like, he still takes the picture of the kid, but he's such a dick about it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, that's the best heel. Yeah.
So after that, we had Jurassic Express versus the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. So a little 6-man 3-way tag team shenanigans.
And Marco Stunt was the most over person on.
Marco Stunt is over as fuck.
They were in his own area.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah.
It was ridiculous.
But just when I've seen him with the other crowd, like with other shows and other audiences, he's still pretty over. And it just, I don't get it.
I think. So I've gone back and I watched the first thing Marco's done, what he got famous for, when he did that match with some big fucker in the middle of nowhere. And it was him being carried. He's very athletic and he's good at moving and being thrown. But I have more and more like struggles with it every week of him being seen in this, like, with this role. Yeah, he's over. Build something behind it other than that, because I'm tired of it. You know, I want more depth to it. Make him like Cheeseburger in Ring of Honor, where he can do stuff. He can get thrown around, but ultimately he's not the best guy, and he's endearing, but he shouldn't be a part of one of your best tag teams with two people that you keep trying to make as these big faces. Because then when Jungle Boy cuts his motherfucking promo that looks great, and he does pretty decent match for a small guy, he's being the new Rey Mysterio, and Luchasaurus looks like a badass and is one of the bigger guys in your promotion and can go, then Marco Stunt, I'm like, okay, what is this? Like, he needs to be a manager. He needs to be something there. He's Little Spike Dudley, but Little Spike Dudley wasn't in every Dudley Boys match.
No, but he took some mean ass
Yes.
bumps.
Oh, he did, but he wasn't. Yes, he was a Dudley, but he wasn't attached to them so directly, or he'd come out and do weird shit that, like, these two look fantastic. The rest of the Dudley family looks great, and Spike comes out in this weird way, but he's not expected to be on the same level. You're not going to see a 6-man match and Spike's going to win it, and you have to believe Spike's a badass. You're going to see Spike come out and get steamrolled, or do something fucking zany, you know.
So there was a rant about Marco Stunt. Tell us a little bit more about the about the Jurassic Express against the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. What happened there?
It was a good match. Orange Cassidy's also over as fuck. He did the he did a volley of shots at Chuck Taylor, which looked good as always. Did the hands in suicida.
Okay.
And then he did what looked like he was going to do a moonsault and just fell back like a trust fund. It looked great. I loved it. I love both these teams with the exception of Marco Stunt. And Trent Barrett.
I'm not a big Trent guy either.
I like Chuck Taylor.
Yeah, Chuck Taylor has a lot of personality.
Him on Twitter is fantastic.
Yeah.
Just shitting on Hangman Page.
And Trent just like has no personality when he's on camera. And I think that's part of his character. I really think like that's kind of who he is.
I feel like they're trying to make him like the worker, but he's like they're making him the Marty, but they're making him the Marty Jannetty, but he really is coming off like the Marty Jannetty, not in the best ways.
Yeah. And
So,
that wraps up AEW.
Nope.
No? Oh, okay. Shit.
Jericho came out because
yes.
He's been offering Moxley to join the Inner Circle. Offered him 49% of the Inner Circle's value
Of Inner Circle LLC.
Inner Circle LLC. Offered him a Ford GT worth millions of dollars, which kinda.
It's not worth millions. It's worth like $500,000.
Nope. It's worth over $1 million, but it's not worth millions. It's because they're sold out. Their second hand value is high, and they have a waiting list to buy where you have to be selected by Ford to buy it. When you buy it, you can't sell it for a year, and you're then going to increase your value. That's why, they have a weird, not great history because Ford created stipulations in purchasing where you couldn't sell it, so people want them.
Interesting.
Yeah. Eric like cars. Eric like cars lot.
Car lot.
Yeah. So I was cool. I like that more than I'm gonna give you this Ford pickup, which was funny to me.
So anyway, I did see a little bit of that. They cut a promo. Jon Moxley comes out.
He goes over everything, and it's this. I didn't like. You could. It felt like a bunch of swerves, but it didn't. It would have been impactful if he joined the Inner Circle.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would have been more impactful if he actually did join the Inner Circle and stuck with it.
And flipped later.
And maybe, like, not only but join, but maybe, like, kick somebody out also.
Yes.
Like, maybe beat the shit out of Hager.
Yeah. No, but
they're not going to use Hager. There's a reason why he's not wrestling. I think they mentioned it somewhere, and I didn't read it, but there is a reason why he's not wrestling. You can do your own research.
Might be an injury or something.
Might be an injury. Could be contract thing.
Yeah, that might be. He might be not. His contract in MMA may not allow him to perform.
Yeah,
which is cool.
But if that's the case, then dude, what's the point of you being in AEW right now? You're not doing shit. You don't even cut a promo, Jake. You don't talk. You don't wrestle. You just stand there and people chant your old shit from WWE.
You look like a bouncer at the Teletubbies because you often wear the same color top and bottom.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
which bugs the shit out of me.
So, but instead, at the end of this, Jericho runs away from Hager. Actually, retreats when Hager comes out to back up Jericho.
Yeah.
So anyway, we kind of cut ahead, but you got Swerve. Moxley does not join the Inner Circle.
Well, he does this promo where he's like, "That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything to me." But I'm going to join, which is like, what?
Yeah.
And then he gets this "You sold out" chant, and it was actually kind of cool. Jericho's like, yeah, he joined this. And then he got the keys for the car. And then he said, the only thing I want is that. Then it was a big to-do.
Title.
Yeah, the title. Big to-do. Blow up in the ring. Bust the sugar glass over Jericho's head.
Of the bubbly.
Jake Hager tries to use a bottle of the bubbly and it busts in his hands.
Oh, God.
And runs out. And that's the show. And it was... I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been better. Honestly, I'm not going to knock in my bottom or my top. I feel like these two guys are my bottoms overall for so much because I feel like AEW is a promotion that's letting people run what they want to do over, and these two guys are fantastic. I feel like what they've done is say, well, we're going to let you do everything you want to do, and they need guides more than they need to be totally in control because they need some help doing this. They would be so much better as faces of this company if they had other things around them.
Sure.
Like, I think Kenny versus Moxley would have been fantastic. Even as a death match, but make it a real death match. Nobody wanted to do that. Okay, so make it a real technical match. Because in NJPW, Moxley has fantastic fucking matches. And they look way more brutal. And they're not using dumb, gimmicky bullshit.
Yeah, they're definitely not wrestling NJPW style.
Yes.
It's definitely a AEW brand style. I was kind of hoping that it would be more of Japanese strong style and just beating the shit out of each other. Man, Omega is just a completely different guy right now
Yeah.
than what I'm used to.
Yeah, it's very... you see these glimmers of it. You're like, damn, he can go. He can still go. Like, Omega versus Pac is a fantastic fucking match.
Well, and it's not that... it's Omega taking a step back because the main thing he wanted was the NJPW heavyweight title, or the IWGP heavyweight title, right? He won that. At this point now, he's satisfied and content with just taking the step back and letting other talent come up. That's not to say he's not going to come back later on and want to win that AEW title. But I don't know, man. It's just the transition from Japanese to TNT AEW is just...
It does feel a bit like a late WCW in not the best ways.
Oh, yeah. Let's stop. Okay. Well,
Hot
take. After that, we'll just end with that one. Move on to the next show. So what else happens on Wednesday? NXT.
Yes.
NXT, baby.
I'll let you lead this one.
NXT. Let's see here. So NXT starts out with Rhea Ripley cutting a promo as the newly crowned champion of the women division. I don't believe we saw any Shayna Baszler that episode, right? No, she was nowhere to be seen.
But we saw, which is cool because it built up a lot of other people. I felt like...
Oh, yeah. So she starts cutting this promo and just starts getting interrupted left and right. First thing comes out, good old Toni Storm comes out. And that's a big surprise because she is normally an NXT UK competitor, but now she's showing up here on the main brand. So does that make her a permanent member or what? We'll see. She comes out, talks a little bit about how... that's right. Reminding Ripley of the time that she beat Ripley for the UK women's title. And basically just says that she wants her match. Well, she's also cut off. I can't even remember the order because so many people came out.
Kaylee Ray comes out.
Was it Kaylee Ray that came out?
It was Kaylee Ray because then it's Kaylee Ray who came out because it was weird. It's Kaylee Ray, then Belair, then Shirai, then LeRae. LeRae's the one that's the weird one out. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing out here?
And Ripley's like, what, you want to fight? And she's like, yeah. Yeah.
But it was Ray coming out like at Worlds Collide, I'm going to go for this.
Yeah.
And basically knocking everyone down. Then Belair comes out and it's like, and cuts to like...
I have 20/20 vision.
Yeah.
I'm better than all of you.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Then Shirai comes out and says, mine. Because I remember that shit specifically pointing at a belt.
A lot of inaudible Japanese screaming before that.
Yes.
Which is, I love. I'm totally cool with that.
Then LeRae, and it was just kind of like, we needed 6 people. I'm Candice LeRae. I'm decent at what I do. I'm here.
There's 3 heels here. I'm a face. So
yes.
So that shitstorm happens, and they just end up having a match. They're like, fuck it, let's fight right now. Everyone's here. So they have a 6-women tag team match with Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, Candice LeRae against the heels of Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, and Kaylee Ray. I actually really like Kaylee Ray.
Yes.
She is so good. Criminally underrated. And, I could talk about her more with the Blackpool too, but yeah, really cool to see her representing the NXT or the UK brand for this match. A pretty good match. I like how the women go. It was pretty exciting. Nothing negative to say about it.
Which I think is a big thing here. Honestly, the part to me that was the negative was the lead up to it. I thought the promo was good, but as it built up and became this thing, I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, no, the promo, yeah. having 5 women interrupt Rhea Ripley was kind of much.
Yes.
And I mean, it was getting to a point where one person would say like maybe a line or two, cut off, line or two, cut off, line or two, cut off. So yeah, that was kind of annoying. The match was good though.
Yes.
I enjoyed the match. So the faces go over. Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, Candice LeRae win by Riptide, if I remember correctly. So Rhea Ripley hits the Riptide on Belair. Poor Belair having to take the pinfall.
I feel real bad right now. I feel like I think everyone in this match is a fantastic performer. I honestly will say some of these people to me, they are my favorite women's performers. Period. I think Rhea Ripley is my favorite person in the women's division across wrestling.
Rhea Ripley?
Yes,
she's up there.
I think, and the reason I say this is I think she's very good now. I think that she's only got time to get better, and she's like right now she's at like her at War Games is like, fuck, this is awesome.
Yeah, she's only 22 or something.
Yeah, she's fucking stupid, like young. Yeah.
She's fucking stupid.
She's stupid ass young. This child is fantastic at what they do and will become a better adult.
Producer, I love when she was saying something to the effect of like, oh, my whole life I've been training. I was like, you're barely 22.
Her whole life though.
That's a 12-year-old saying. I've played Halo forever.
Forever and ever. So yeah, after the match, we get a pre-tape promo from Tommaso Ciampa. My dude still wants that title back.
What do you think about this angle? Because I kind of like it, and I feel like it's a reset because I think part of me thinks that they kind of feel like they fucked up in how they brought Ciampa back. Mm-hmm. I like this, but I feel like this would have been way more impactful earlier, or just keep him out longer and have him come back now. Which I want me some more Ciampa, but I feel like maybe him coming back later on or closer to the Rumble, it might have been cooler to me to see Ciampa come out on Rumble.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like make his return at the Rumble.
Because when he came back, it was a great part of an NXT that was very crowded.
Yeah.
Because it was the first NXT on USA, which is great. Mm-hmm. But you already had Balor out, and that was a really cool moment. I think it took away from Balor's moment, and they really focused on Balor being there because I think they're trying to be like, look at this, it's awesome. And Ciampa should have a fuckload of spotlight, and I think it would have been fantastic of no heat, nothing, because he would have had instant heat of at Royal Rumble. Ciampa just comes back out. Mm-hmm. Like he's entrant, whatever, and I want Ciampa to win it this year. My pick for the Rumble this year is Ciampa. If it's no one else, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. I think he could do it, and I think
Ciampa winning the Rumble.
And I think it'd be really cool because if we're going to view NXT as an equal brand, it would be a really cool thing if at WrestleMania, one of those main events is Ciampa, Cole, NXT title, wins it.
Mm-hmm. Have the NXT title main event WrestleMania.
I think everyone in that could do it because I think they see Cole as being the next Shawn Michaels. Everyone keeps comparing him, and I think that they want to bring Cole to that next level on Raw or SmackDown, and I think it would be a great way to get him that heat where he can go there and showcase him. Mm-hmm. I think that title needs it, and I think Ciampa. And I think it'd be just a fantastic story.
Because Ciampa's made it very clear that he doesn't want to go up to the main brand, so that would be really good. You're never going to achieve the main brand status and get up to WrestleMania because you're not going to be on SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah.
So yeah, they should be putting the NXT title on the main events now. Mm-hmm. But that means double duty though for the NXT players because they got to also do their takeover shows. That's the only problem. But they did that with Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. Could happen. It's a possibility. I think there's very much a logjam right now with Adam Cole, Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. They're all able to have that world title to be the champion. But obviously they can't just throw them all in that title scene.
If you don't have to necessarily do double duty.
Okay.
You could have the main event for NXT be Gargano, Balor.
Sure.
No title needed. That's a good match, good heat, and it's a fantastic story. Mm-hmm. You could have your U.S. title be there and have Keith Lee there. You don't have to have the NXT title be there. And the NXT title on WrestleMania would be really awesome.
No, it would be awesome.
And they have, more than any other brand, developed enough stories that you could have several matches with good heat that are fucking great matches, and the title's almost irrelevant. I felt like this with NXT for the longest time, is the title isn't as relevant because everyone puts on great work.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, going with what you're saying, there are enough belts to fill the cart too. You have the Cruiserweight title, you have the Women's title, you have the Tag Team titles, you have the North American title.
You could have the UK title in it.
You could throw the UK title in there too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because who wouldn't want to see Volta on a NXT takeover in the United States? Anybody would be happy to see that shit.
Hell yes.
That's a good point. Yeah. Man, seeing NXT title in WrestleMania would be crazy, crazy shit.
Hot take, that's my goal. That's what I want. That's what I think is going to happen. If it doesn't happen, slightly disappointed. Actually, pretty disappointed.
So your fantasy booking starts with Ciampa winning the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
And that's your call. You're locking that shit in right
My
now.
pick, Royal Rumble, Ciampa wins.
If
It's Roman Reigns, you will see the angriest you will ever see Eric. You'll see shit flip. If it's like this, I would be more upset if Roman Reigns won this year with me picking this booking than when Roman Reigns came in at number 30 that one year and everyone was just like, motherfucker!
Yeah. Fuck! Yeah, so you hear it here first. A week from Sunday, Royal Rumble. Clump's already called his shot. I still have yet to call mine. Marsh hasn't called his either, so we don't know. Okay, so wow, what a rant we went on just because of Tommaso Ciampa. So after that promo, we go into the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. The first round, Imperium versus the Forgotten Sons. Forgotten Sons rocking some new gear, all white. I actually liked it. I thought they looked more like a tag team though.
I feel like it was a cool heel match, but I feel like the goal is to get one of these guys to be faces, and I think they want to make Forgotten Sons a face. I don't like I like their gear more because it does make them look like a team. I just don't like the Forgotten Sons.
I don't think it's making them more as the faces. They just need to establish a dominant heel team, and I think Imperium is more of a established team than the Forgotten Sons.
This is how World War One. This is like the reverse of World War II.
Yeah. In fact, Imperium is current UK champions, tag team champions. So yeah, it would have been really weird to see them go down to the Forgotten Sons.
Yep.
That being said, Forgotten Sons made it to the finals last year, and they're out. So.
Hey.
No big push for you guys this year, huh? Anyway, the match was okay. I really like Imperium, to be honest. No, Imperium's not the tag team chat. That's Gallus. I'm sorry. Yeah. I screwed up. I got the two names confused. Eichner and Bartel are really cool guys. Bartel is someone that I liked actually when he debuted for regular NXT, just as a single competitor. I thought he had a lot of character just in the way he presented himself as like this German guy. It's awesome. Anyway, but the two of them work really well together. Eichner is super athletic, freakishly strong, crazy. Yep. But Imperium is just, I don't know. I like the stable altogether. Theme music, Volta, all of it works for me.
Yeah, Walter in anything is the best thing ever to me. Walter is amazing. So
yeah,
and this is better.
Yeah, Volta versus Coffee was it was okay. It was okay, but we'll get to that. Yeah. So yeah, the winner of that match. Oh, by the way, Imperium goes over. Winner of that match goes to face Riddle and the winner of Riddle and Pete Dunne versus Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. There's a lot of names right there.
70 names.
Yeah, so many names. And that's one of the things that I find weird about this tournament this year. Just how they put two single stars together every year to form a makeshift tag team. And this year now it's Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle. It just does not make sense. It makes about as much sense as Aleister Black and Ricochet last year.
I think, and you could build it in a way where it's make it a thing where it's William Regal choosing every year I choose a random tag pairing that I think would be good, how Mick Foley made the bar by putting people together, make them hostile against each other, because I think it would be cool because they are so different. Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle.
Mhm.
Like I can see that working. Like you're gonna make
I could see them putting on a good match together too against each other.
yes.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Matt Riddle is somebody that I want to see in the Royal Rumble and do well.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want him to win? I don't know.
But I want him to showcase.
I want him to show up, especially with Brock Lesnar being in there.
Oh, that would be so. That'd be such a good stare down.
Yeah, so we'll get to that. Next match we had on NXT was Austin Theory and Joaquin Wilde. Austin Theory is a newcomer. Joaquin's also new, but he was part of the breakout tournament or whatever that they did. So we got to see a little bit of him. His former name is DJZ, something like that. Anyway, Austin Theory, former Evolve heavyweight champion, probably going to be getting a really good push with the NXT brand. He just kind of has that look. I'm sure Triple H likes it. He does. He's also freakishly strong, can do a lot of shit. It was a good match. I like both these guys. They're both really good.
Yeah.
Austin Theory goes over again because I think he's just going to get. I think he's going to have a big 2020. Personally, I think by the end of 2020, Theory is going to be the North American title champion.
Which makes sense. I mean, well, I think the next North American champion is going to be Keith Lee.
No. By the end of 2020.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't want. Could he take it off Keith Lee? How's Keith Lee going? I'm long term. How could Keith Lee lose that title?
Shenanigans. Because Austin Theory is going to be. I think he's more of a heel anyway. I think
Fair.
he played heel in Evolve. So yeah, I think that could easily happen. You're not going to beat Keith Lee unless you do some shenanigans because he'll just pants your ass and that's it.
Yeah.
Game over. So yeah, Austin Theory with the win, and then we go into what I believe was the main event. Correct? No, it was not.
Undisputed Era
Yeah.
defeats Gallus, which you just said that like, well, it's kind of weird that the NXT Tag Team UK Tag Team Champions would lose.
Yeah.
They lost.
Yeah.
Gallus lost to the Undisputed Era because
Well, because NXT Tag Team versus UK Tag Team, of course, NXT greater.
which is kind of weird that we forgot about that because you'd think that would be a much higher noted match in looking at it.
Champion versus champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And it was a good match. Nobody did anything wrong there. Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly always look fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I love. They are my two favorite members of the Undisputed Era.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was. I think it was a lot of things, and you were hopeful it would be like more, and it turned out to be like a wet fart
Yeah.
rather than the eventful giant shit you want it to be.
You just, yeah. You just, it was an undisputed match with the high-low finisher.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything special. It wasn't like a War Games kind of match. Wasn't a ladder match, caliber kind of thing. But it was decent. Gallus is just, I don't know. For tag team champions, man, they just don't really get a whole lot of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
There's
going
just
in,
something about it.
Going into Blackpool wouldn't have been cool. I mean, whereas the Undisputed Era win a lot, it would have been cool to see Gallus beat Undisputed Era. I mean, make it a weird thing. Make it a schmoz. Make it
I
shenanigans.
also find it kind of weird that the champions are in the tournament. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because shouldn't the winners face the champions? Isn't that kind of what it's been in the past? The winners face the champions after they're declared the Dusty. Yeah, okay. I'm just complaining. I'm a complainer. So yeah, Undisputed wins. They defeat Gallus via pinfall. We have the... Did we have the announcement? They announced it. Oh yeah, they did announce it this NXT. Kushida's partner.
Time Splitters back together.
Time Splitters back together. That pop that they got at that stadium, that arena, was maddening. I heard some loud children audible gasp, ah! Yeah.
Which is one of my highlights for the week.
I was wondering if Clump was there. Actually, I was like, Jesus.
And Time Splitter back together is cool. I really am hyped. If you don't know about the Time Splitters, please go watch their work in NJPW. It's fantastic.
Junior tag team champions, junior heavyweight tag team champions. Alex Shelley is really good. He's put on some really good matches with a lot of guys that are in NXT and on the main roster right now. And they're really trying to push that with their posts on social media, like, oh, you don't know who this guy is? You should. If you don't know who he is, check him out. He's really good.
Yeah.
This should be something to be excited about. I really hope that these guys win.
I
I mean, I'm like with them announced the Time Splitters reunion. I'm like, oh shit, I want them to win.
I think that it's a great way to build a cool, positive face tag team. I feel right now there is not the reason they're doing the Dusty Classic is to build tag teams. There's not you realize there's not many tag teams because even the established teams, I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
There's no. I felt more for the Street Profits than I do for anyone here, and I'm not a big Street Profits fan. They had more of a reaction, you know.
Yeah, so the NXT Tag Team Champions, so they're going to, they move on to the semifinals where they face the winner of Grizzled Young Veterans versus Kushida and Alex Shelley, the Time Splitters. So I was thinking in my head how they're playing this out and if they had them on opposite brackets and if they ended up with an Undisputed Era versus Time Splitters for the finals and then Regal comes out and he's like, let's just make this for the Tag Team Championships as well.
That'd be bomb.
That'd be really bomb, but it's not going to happen. Sorry, folks. Yeah. So yeah, that for me also, Alex Shelley being announced as his partner is also a positive for me. That makes my top 5. Mm-hmm. Again, that was probably the biggest pop of the show.
By far.
Yeah. And you could tell like some people were like, who? And then there were some people that were just freaking livid, like super duper excited.
We had the promo Gargano cut.
Yeah, so Gargano does cut a promo on Finn Balor. Basically, God, he was saying some fire too, and I can't recall right now.
Well, it was a lot of it. Like the gist of it was Finn Balor's back, but he left. I've never.
That's
left.
right. That's right. I never left. I stayed here. Yeah.
I got to go there. I came back.
Yeah.
I have business here.
Yep.
Producer here, and that audience was all over the place. They were not for him at first. Because I remember Mark and I looked at each other. I was like, "What is happening?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wasn't getting the face reaction at first, but it was a hell of a promo, and both of them just I don't know. I'm excited for that match. I think the build-up. I think that's one of the build-ups that are doing a really good job at right now because I'm excited to see those two at TakeOver.
And I feel like back to like the booking for Ciampa. If Ciampa hadn't come out and had been mixed up in this with Balor and everything, this could have built longer.
Oh yeah,
and been better because having Gargano been out for such a long time, it's hot. I want it. I'm excited for this to happen, and they have time to build it up. But I'm still kind of like come on, like I want more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just it doesn't feel as good as it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It could have been played a little bit different, but hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah.
Whatever. That, my friend. Oh, I'm feeling like Marsh right now. It's all just coming up.
It doesn't lead to you're not there yet. Are you gonna say it's the main event?
Huh? No.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought you're gonna be like, that's.
No, it's not. We still got some shit going on right now. God damn it! Calm down. So we got the Time Splitter reunion. The next matches we have Mia Yim versus Kaden Carter. Don't see much of Kaden Carter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know too much about her. She has cool hair.
Yeah.
That's really all. That's my opinion about her right now.
And then we got Chelsea. I mean, the match.
Whatever.
The match is fine, but it felt like it was for the segment after.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This match was for no reason.
Yeah. It was a match. It was a piece of match,
and that's all it was. Mia Yim goes over because Mia Yim is the established name.
Yep.
After the match, Chelsea Green runs out and attacks
everyone.
them. Yeah, attacks everyone. Does her thing, and Robert Stone. That's his name.
Yep. When he was in Impact as Robbie.
Robbie. Robert Stone comes out, cuts a promo. Basically, the Robert Stone brand is what he's going to be rocking with. Chelsea Green's the first signee, the hottest free agent talent. I don't know about that, but
What do you think about? I like that I like managers coming back.
I love man. They need managers,
and I like a male manager for a female talent. I think that's cool as hell.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a different dynamic that they haven't done ever. So, well, I shouldn't say ever. When's the last male manager for female talent? Yeah, see, you can't recall that.
nothing notable. I mean, I'm sure there's probably been things in the indies, but
I'm sure there's
I'm
sure there's been some small time stuff, but
or because everyone, it's always been that. I think it's a really cool establishing. And I can't think of I think the reason that we haven't seen a lot of it is it's a very difficult thing to book because a manager is a dastardly. They're going to get involved and do something. We're not. Are we going to see a manager make contact with female talent?
Carmella.
Oh yeah.
So,
And Touchy McChildren.
touching my children.
and the producer here, the only reason I remember that is because when Carmella won Money in the Bank, I was so mad that Enzo was the one to help.
Wasn't Enzo? It was
no,
Ellsworth.
Ellsworth. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I was sorry. Well,
starts with an E. It's okay.
Yeah,
Enzo was
That's-
acquitted in his things involving people.
Yeah.
All the people were no longer with the company.
That's an old sentence, isn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah, debut of Robert Stone. It's about time. They showed him on camera once or twice in the past. I can't remember what Tirano, whatever the Brazilian chick. He came out like scouting her. Didn't do anything with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that ends that segment. Then we get to the main event,
Beep, beep, beep.
which happens to also be one of my tops for the week because this man is incredible. He is the best. We had Keith Lee versus Cameron Grimes, Dominic Dijakovic, and Damian Priest. A fatal four-way for the number one contendership for the North American Championship.
Crazy.
And yeah, it was
I think everyone
it was nuts, man.
it was an amazing match. I liked. So there's one person that I like, and their line was that it was Keith. At one point, it was Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic playing with their food.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I was that then after Cameron Grimes, I was happy they gave him a space to showcase. They didn't just have him be it felt like this is the odd guy out of this, and he still is, but it was a good I'm aware of him.
Yeah.
I can see him doing more. I can see him moving up. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I could see him being a player.
Yeah.
I don't know about NXT Championship player right
No.
now, but I can definitely see him as a mid-card player in the near future. But I do see Austin Theory getting a bigger push than him.
Yeah, and I think in this match, everyone Dijakovic and Damian Priest looked awesome, but Keith Lee as always.
Yeah, Keith Lee. Keith Lee is just a shining star, and he's just brighter than any of them right now.
This has one of my low points in it though, and it's a weird thing to me. I love Keith Lee. I want Keith Lee to go to the moon. Mm-hmm. He's fantastic. That they keep doing the GIF moments for him, and they're really planning them. I'm getting my low is I want you to save these because there's going to be a point where this shit's going to get old, or it's going to me being the worried WWE fan. You're going to make it a comic thing, and I don't want him to be defined by that. I want him to be more than the GIF guy, and I'm worried that he's becoming it's great shit. He's a GIF, as the kids say. He's a GIF. We need to do more GIFs with him. And have him rise up, and that's
if it's Marsh, it's a GIF.
GIF.
He's a GIF.
I could see Vince saying GIF.
And producer too.
Yeah.
I don't actually see him in that way. I don't know.
I don't myself either, but my worry is when I see that moment in the match. That's what I'm saying is it's not. I'm worried that it's going to be this is what's going to happen is that he'll be that singularly.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking Montez Ford and.
Montez Ford is more of the gift for sure. The gift that keeps on giving.
And it's not based on anything else, but it's not based on anything else. But my worry is that you'll have Keith Lee. I don't want Keith Lee to be pigeonholed into one thing, and that's as I see a talent be. We're doing this thing over and over with a person every week. I'm pause that shit. It's less impactful when you do it more and more. And I worry that that's what's going to happen because, yeah.
So we don't even, I noticed we don't even do the comparisons of
Okay.
AEW and NXT.
Hey, and NXT wins a lot, dude. Don't worry.
NXT wins. Okay, moving on.
There are things AEW did a good show this time. They did a better show than some of the recent ones because, again, there were things that got me excited here. But there have been weeks, and a lot more weeks than not, where I've been hearing most of my negatives have been AEW. I will say my overall negative this week is not AEW. I think they're making changes slowly, but yeah. However, there are still some shit. There's some things in AEW that are bad, and NXT did nothing wrong.
This ad just popped up and it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because she just like popped up out of nowhere. I was like,
But like NXT continually does nothing really wrong. Even the worst NXT episode is a very like
it's still better than the best AEW episode.
AEW needs to be NXT. And I know they need different character, but I mean in the sense of like you need to work on building people like NXT does because
Yeah, like NXT is the bar that you have to get up to right now. And if you can't get up to NXT's level, you're not gonna get up to SmackDown and Raw. You're not gonna beat WWE if you can't even beat NXT.
And even if you're not saying you're going to beat them, as an alternative, I need you to tell stories in that level because what the weaknesses are, it's not your talent, it's not your style. I can see silly fucking wrestling being good because I like me some silly fucking wrestling sometimes. It's the storytelling that continually upsets me. It's not that you have, you know, the Young Bucks and Marco Stunt and this shit. It's that you have this commentator coming and saying, well, he's really over and the crowd really loves him, going into how amazing he is, but I don't see any of that shit.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Give me things why, especially for the women. Because I think that's the thing with NXT that really truly defines and differentiates them from AEW and the real roster overall.
That women's division.
Their women's division, their women's storytelling. Because we just talked about in NWA how it's like, okay, well, every week we're going to have one women's match. They're telling better stories to the women in that one women's match and their little segment, the before and after, than fucking AEW is, and AEW's championed it. AEW's had press conferences where they talk about how men and women will be paid equally and this and that, and they don't fucking do it. It really doesn't show.
Shayna Baszler's going to win the Women's Rumble.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I'm making my call for the women's right now. Shayna Baszler will win the Women's Royal Rumble.
Also, I'm the AEW fanboy, and I just cut a fucking promo on AEW.
Yeah, but producer here, I do think that is like the hope of all the companies coming out, that like women will get paid more.
Yeah.
Like equal amount, because I did see that a while ago where people were talking about like the paycheck that Becky takes home versus men.
Becky signed a $5 million deal or something like that.
I don't know.
I think she's 5 years, $1 million a year kind of contract.
That's awesome.
Is what I read.
That's. I mean, she deserves it.
That's top tier. That's top tier.
I mean, I think the point of it, I mean, overall is I think and this has happened before over and over again, is there have been exceptions that have made that level of money. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, I'm sure, you know, Sable had great contracts. I'm sure there are people on the roster who had made less than them. It's that, however, when you get below that one person, the tier of top women under Becky are making a shit ton less probably than the tier of women under, the tier of men under Brock.
Yeah.
Or Daniel Bryan. Like, that's what I mean. And you have, like, that level of, like, Roman Reigns is really, if we're honest, he's not at that top tier anymore. He's upper card now. He's not going for titles. He could probably go there, but he's there with Drew McIntyre and them. They're all making 7 figures, probably. Yes.
I think Roman Reigns will be making 7 figures a year. I don't think Drew will be.
Corbin.
I don't think Corbin's making 7 figures either.
Well, they're high 6s. They're making money.
They're making high 6s. But I think the guys that are making the 7 figures are guys like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. Mm-hmm. That's just right off the top of my head. And now Becky Lynch.
I think what needs to happen is partly
Randy Orton too.
Oh yeah. If you're not, and that might mean, I think you're going to have to cut some salaries for some men, because I mean there are men, I think, or bring women up or cut men down, and I think both need to happen, because there are women who can go out there week to week and do such a good job that they are highlights of the shows. Mm-hmm. They need to be making as much as Randy Orton, because there are times, I mean, fucking Randy Orton is fantastic. He always does good.
Monday he was awesome for me.
But he comes on his feuds this in the last WrestleMania, or him fighting AJ Styles in a feud that's best described as dads watching their kids.
Oh, when he won the Royal Rumble a few years ago, I was so pissed. I was so pissed when Randy Orton won. I was like, him, really?
Yeah. He's good.
Yeah.
But Asuka's fucking great.
Yeah.
Asuka goes out and delivers, and Asuka has a fan base. Ember Moon.
I'm hoping so bad that Asuka wins.
Yes.
I'm like, It's not going to happen. I know they're going to give Becky her win back, but fuck if Asuka wins. That's going to be so
That would be
awesome
better
for me.
Yeah, and that's but in talking about women in AEW and all this that's also my AEW put up this big thing about their pay equality, and that might be there. We don't know, but certainly their storytelling equality is piss poor. There's no focus on women, it feels like, and this is a hot take, it feels worse with regard to women and diversity than WWE treats women and diversity times. I, for the longest time, really defended the things that they did with certain groups, like how they didn't and I still think it's really awesome how they haven't pushed Nyla Rose in this way that I could see other promotions pushing her, where it's the first person that's done this,
Right.
I do feel like in ways that they've done other things, it's very much like how we're talking about pay and coverage in this, and then they're not showing it.
Mm-hmm.
Put up.
Speaking of women in professional wrestling, producer's like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, I know it's gone.
We had a women transcend boundaries.
We had a women.
A women.
That was an odd ass sentence.
I know. I'm sorry. Tess Blanchard.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you think I was gonna go?
I
wasn't sure which woman. There's several things happening in social
Yeah, so a lot of things happen
women
on social
be
media.
doing shit.
But as far as the equality and the fair booking, Tess Blanchard was booked and won the Impact World title on, it was Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Friday or Saturday. At their pay-per-view event against Sami Callihan. That was something that we kind of all knew was going to happen. The writing was on the wall for that one.
And nothing bad or controversial's happened around that at all.
So
Everything is stellar and wonderful and happy.
okay, so we'll jump ahead real quick and just cover that for a second. That's definitely a down for the week, in my opinion, because it was just a huge storm. The timing was just terrible, and it really makes you question the motives of these women, because I don't know, man. The timing was just really bad, for my opinion.
Yeah.
So, anyways, what happened was Tess made a comment on Twitter. Twitter's the worst, by the way.
I miss
That women,
pre-Twitter.
yeah, that women need to. What, do you know the exact tweet? Do you remember, producer?
Tessa said something like all women should support other women. So it was something that you could take as being positive, and Allison Kay called her out.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be a positive tweet for women to embrace each other, to help each other, to, just be better to each other. Allison comes out and throws shade. Calls her out for bullying behavior, for racist comments, diva attitude. And that's kind of stuff we already knew about Tessa, that she has attitude.
Yeah.
But we didn't know any of these stories. So she came out, said that thing about her. Chelsea Green, shortly after, came out with her own allegations. And then the African-American wrestler, I can't recall her name.
And then there was, I think, someone from Japan? Maybe? Like, there were several.
Yeah, there are several more. We don't need to go into it.
Yeah.
Basically, really painting a bad picture for Tess before her biggest moment of her career. I just don't know if it was really necessary, honestly. I don't know. But of course, people on Twitter take things too far. They immediately go into cancel culture. Don't book Tess to win the championship because of this. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
I mean, I also, producer, I kind of think that this is like wrestlers talking about wrestling stuff. So, as a fan, I'm kind of just like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, as a fan, I wasn't there. I don't know. I just really can't say.
I can't say one thing one way or another. I can't say that she doesn't deserve any of this because of what's happened backstage. Beef happens, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You say things you regret. You do things you regret. I just don't necessarily mean, I know she's made racial comments. I don't necessarily think that she's racist. but we don't know. And it's a touchy subject. Go ahead.
I'm a bald white guy with a beard. I'm going to be very quiet during this, okay?
I mean, from being in the military and being in a man's quote unquote field, because I was an aircraft mechanic, I kind of think there's a lot of crap that gets said.
Yeah.
And being in those kinds of situations where things are said, you're just like, God, I have to get through this.
Yeah.
I definitely, like, I empathize with that, being in those types of, like, really uncomfortable, shitty moments. So I felt bad for, for, like, anyone that's been in that situation. But on the flip side, like, anyone looking from the outside can't really say because you're not in that environment. So I think it's kind of like, man, I really wish that, I would hope that the community of women wrestlers were talking to each other. Like, man, you guys call each other, you guys do whatever, like, but we're coming from the outside, so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and what I'm saying is, because soon after those allegations came out, a promotion that had booked Tess had cut their ties with her and cut her from the booking. And I just don't think that's right. You're basically letting Twitter win at that point, and just the rants on Twitter. And how authentic are these rants on Twitter? And I'm not saying like the people that are coming out with the accusations that were there dealing directly with her. I'm talking about the fans that are jumping on Chelsea Green's side, or I can't remember her name, Allison Kay's side, who know nothing about the situation but are calling for Tess to not be booked for anything just because they're enraged.
And I kind of wonder, like, if, let's say, if Allison or if anyone who was in that situation went to Tess and said, hey, I saw your tweet, like, about that, this is what happened to me, and, like, that wasn't cool.
Yeah.
I wonder what her reaction would have been, like, if it was a private thing, maybe she would have been like, man, I'm so sorry, I remember that, like, that was so shitty, like, I just don't know.
Yeah.
So I would like to think that there's a room for change for, like, anyone.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I feel like that speaks to something that's different now that I feel is... I don't like these feuds coming to the surface in this way because I wish that happened. The one thing I also kind of wish... I always look at... Like, I look for this. I look for the... I look for the attack, but I also always look for the defense. Like, I always think of, like, when Hogan came back, Kofi and the rest of the New Day's response to that was super valid to me, their tweets. Later on, they actually did a tweet talking about him in a positive light because he did the work. And I think that spoke volumes of everything there, too. I wish we saw more.
I wish we knew more of the story. My position on it is it's not changing my opinion on Tess as a performer.
Yeah.
I still think her winning the world title is a tremendous thing for the company. Not just Impact, but for the industry itself. It really breaks boundaries, and who knows what women can do now after this. I hope that it does get addressed. I hope she does speak on it a little bit as the new champion. It doesn't have to be like in kayfabe, like on Impact, talk about that shit, but I would like it to see addressed.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say about it.
Sorry, real
You're
quick.
good.
I just had like a flashback of like in the military having superiors, women, saying sexist things to me, and at the moment I realized that those women didn't actually mean those things to me. They were projecting their environment, that they were so stuck in being in a really crappy male-dominated environment that's all they were getting every single day, every single moment, every single shift. So like, it sucked. It was not fun. But years later, like, I don't believe that those women are the same. I think taking them, the ones that got out of the military, taking them out of those environments, I would hope that they've grown.
Right.
And like experienced, oh, this isn't what it's supposed to be like. So I don't know. It sucks.
Yeah, it was definitely a weird scenario. It certainly made Twitter interesting for that day, just to follow everything. That's how I'm going to leave it. Congratulations to Tessa for winning the World Championship. I think it's pretty awesome.
Well, and I think the last thing I'll say too with this that I think of when we see these moments occur, I think Impact is like a big positive part of this. If Marcia said this, and like we heard from Pritchard, is when you have someone say something Or what am I going to find out about you?
Right. Oh, yeah.
I feel like Impact is what we maybe should look at. Impact hasn't pulled the title off someone.
That line, what am I going to find out about you?
Yes.
That was for Lars Sullivan. That's how we brought that up.
Yeah.
I was so thinking him.
Mitch Bennett, you mean? Mitch Bennett, you mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's if these allegations, I mean, if we're all on the outside, but who would be on the inside and responding to it would probably be a promotion who needs to be cautious, and they haven't said anything, and I think that speaks more of what's happened here. I'm sure, and I think maybe that's with everything here, I think they're letting this be handled between people. They're not jumping into it. And I think that's the important thing here.
Yeah, I think if there was some serious allegations, some serious shit going down, then yeah, Impact would have to step up and say something or do something. I'm so glad that they didn't change the booking, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, there goes her title push." Like, that would have been really shitty on Impact's part to pull the booking just for a couple of Twitter comments.
The other thing I could say too, and this is something that more with Cornette that came up, is like with what I read about what happened with regard to the performer who's a person of color being called words that were bad in Japan. Nothing's clarified if that was in a back room or if that was in a ring, because if that happened in a ring, we're 10 years out from that happening in rings in the US. We're 12 years out from that happening in the WWE, where Vince said
He did?
"What's up, my..."
Oh, Jesus.
And that doesn't age well.
No.
And I'm not saying that excuses something happening, but we don't know where that occurred. And I think that's what, if before anyone's jumping to stuff, okay, this is all hearsay.
I'm pretty sure it happened in the back, because I
They
think
were saying like 2017, I think.
I think it happened in the back because I'm pretty sure that person then punched Tess.
Which is a fair response, too. that sounds like a thing that got handled by the boys.
Again, it was handled, okay?
Yeah.
She said it, and she got sucked for it.
That's fine. But I think the big thing to follow here, the big entity to follow with regard to how this should be addressed is Impact.
Yeah.
Impact is in a spot where they don't want bad press of their people right now. I mean, they're not the kind of no company which is airing on TV in any capacity wants this shit, especially when you're struggling. So them not pulling things, them not changing things, yeah. And also, if we're gonna look at this,
I mean, shit, even WWE doesn't want it. When it came out with Hulk Hogan, they're like,
ain't heard shit about Lars Sullivan recently,
Yeah.
But also, like, the promotion, as I recall, that pulled their relationship, didn't they also maintain a relationship with other performers that have had kind of weird moments here? It's a lot to be in. Don't pick a side here. Sit in the middle, let things go. Be happy that women are being booked in a positive light and be pushed for more growth, I think, is the big route here. Or the big thing here. That coming from a white guy.
with a beard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Latina here, so I...
No, you did. No, I was gonna say, like, I looked over and you kind of were looking down. I was like, I should shut up.
I know, I've heard that some people were like, "Oh, I don't want to hear anything from my guys." Well, we may look lighter, but we're not.
Oh,
I'm Hispanic.
was born in Mexico.
All right, what we got?
Okay, so now let's jump back a day, because we actually skipped Friday Night SmackDown. Shamaka down it.
Yeah.
And we'll touch. I don't know. We've gone a little bit over our time with our other segments, so we'll just touch on this. Was there anything that stood out for you on SmackDown?
Morrison's in my bottom.
Huh?
Morrison's in my bottom.
Morrison's in your bottom. Okay.
This segment is in my bottom.
Okay. Yeah, because it opens up with the Miz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get there's a... Okay. Morrison saying I was going to come out in the Rumble and do this, you know what? I was like, yeah, you should have fucking come out in the Rumble. This is stupid. This sucks. Yes, it's going to... I think ultimately the reason for it was to get heat on a segment on Fox because they want to get more there, but it sucked. It was dead. I didn't care. And also, I mean, I fucking hate Morrison's music.
Dude, it's
so
dated.
dumb.
It's so dated, man.
It was kind of sad too, just that you got no response, and that Miz was so like trying. Just
Yeah.
like, come on, remember, and
You guys
the
remember.
creative vignette. I felt really bad.
For a broad fan base, you would do better in a pay-per-view because in a pay-per-view you have more of the fans there.
Yeah, that would know who John Morrison
Yeah,
is.
it would pop. It would be the same thing if AJ Styles showed up on SmackDown. I don't think he would have gotten that reaction. I know AJ Styles is the biggest guy in the world, but him coming out in the Royal Rumble was a very deliberate thing. Morrison should have done that. Morrison would have had more response in that case. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't work, and that was one of my bottoms. I think it was you took a lot of potential steam away, and also having Morrison attached to The Miz.
Devalues him.
Yeah, they had a tag team together from 2000 whatever to 2008. I don't really remember either of them in a positive capacity there because I think those were very weak years in the industry. That was the time of Cena and Punk, which was great, but below that,
Yeah.
there was a lot of nothing. This is when you watched Royal Rumbles and Carlito and Jamie Noble are out and they're big names, and I don't give a shit. You can go on YouTube and watch the 2008 Royal Rumble because it's free, and they're going to talk about how Jamie Noble and Chuck Palumbo are in this big feud together, and nobody gives a fuck.
Who? Just kidding.
Yeah, that was an old ass sentence.
So yeah, this comes out to address what happened the week before, attacking Kofi Kingston. He said he had one bad day, did shit that he shouldn't have done, blah blah
I
blah.
love that he's a heel again, though. I love that.
Miz as a heel is better, yes.
Miz is so much better as a heel.
Yeah, he is better as a heel. So he comes out, introduces John Morrison. John Morrison comes out, defends The Miz and his actions, and blames the audience, blames the people for this. Typical heel stuff. Again, this isn't the best way to use Morrison, who left WWE to become a champion at pretty much every promotion he worked at. Every promotion. And now he's coming back here and has...
Whenever the other thing too, I think also is I think they're really trying to build him, and he's done a lot there, but he's always been almost too. He always comes off like the guy who's pushed to the moon because we're supposed to, but it never works out.
Yeah.
Like in Lucha Underground, they wanted Morrison to be the face of their company, and fucking Prince Puma.
Yeah.
And Impact and Brian Cage.
Yep.
It's just he's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. I mean...
Yeah.
I can see him winning the Intercontinental title again.
He's the pick of like the ultimate. He's like if you were 12-year-old making your perfect wrestler, you'd book John Morrison, and then when you're 15, you're like, God, I hate that fucking asshole.
Yeah, of course I made a guy
It's
like
like
that.
kids like Roman Reigns is my guy. He's this, and then you're like, God, fuck this.
So after that, the New Day come out and address what happened last week as well. They have a little talk, and they end up going into a singles match with The Miz versus Kofi Kingston. Miz going over with a skull-crushing finale.
It's okay.
It was a match. Yeah, whatever. So after that, we go into... was there a segment between?
Mandy having
there
a cake
was.
for Otis.
Yeah, so Mandy makes a cake for Otis to apologize for what happened last week again with Otis and Dolph Ziggler stepping all over his... Was it the cake that he had last week too?
Yeah, it was his Nana's cake.
It was the Nana's cake, yeah. Nana Otis. Where's the picture? Where's Mama Otis? No, we don't have to bring it up. But yeah, so that segment happens, and then we go into the Mandy Rose Alexa Bliss match. Alexa Bliss begins to take over the match,
And Otis comes out with a
and
cake. And it was
heavy machinery freaking come out. Otis,
waddling his ass out with a cake, which was great.
he is so in love with Mandy. I freaking love it. It's so funny.
This is a good relationship story. This is so much better than anything else.
All I could do without his face gestures. Oh my god. No, that was. I think at that moment, Marsh looked over and he's like, ew! What the hell?
The thing is, it's so deliberate. It makes sense. It's creepy in the best way, and I'm cool with it because it's better than when you're like legit, like what Mike and Maria Kanellis and Russo and Lana, and you're like, oh god, this is terrible, but they're playing it straight and they're just dog shit. It's so over.
It's like he's creepy, but he's also like innocent too. He's like trying to be.
He's very endearing.
Yeah, he's trying to be like. It's funny.
He's the Eugene character, like if he was in puberty.
Yeah. So yeah, they come out, distracts Alexa Bliss because she's like, what the hell are these guys doing out here right now? Yeah. Mandy Rose picks up the victory with the roll-up by the distraction. It was a match again.
Match.
After that, we go into an Elias promo. Elias
completed a promo,
enters himself into the Royal Rumble.
So sad for this. I was such an Elias fan, and I think recently, since he's come back, his songs are just awful. They're either like insulting, like sexist. They're not great. They're not funny. I'm not even interested in watching them anymore. It's sad.
I think there was a thing about Elias where he's a good worker. He's good in the ring. His promos were good, but he was such a good bad guy.
Yeah.
And the thing that made it was he always got cut off when he was being a dick.
Yeah.
When you let him go all the way through, the pop is whoever comes out and gives him shit. Him doing this now and doing the same shit over, and now it's tired and dead and bad because they're letting him go through, and they're basically, I think somebody's like, hey, what was really good is you made these really shitty songs and you were mean to people. Do that, and they're not coming out well because they're coming out as sexist and fucked up and mean and shitty.
I just want him to double J everybody and just slam people with guitars.
Yes.
That's all I want him to do.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if you wanted to change his gimmick, have him come out and it's like, I've branched out into a different thing and have him do a different style of music. That would be okay to me because it's something new. And you could even recycle the same people coming in as like him coming out with, have him come out and wheel out a baby grand piano and it fucks up and hits the ring and breaks. And he's just like, shit.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be cool.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that really boring promo, unfortunately, we get what's supposed to be Lacey Evans versus Sasha Banks. Lacey Evans comes out. She's really picking up some momentum. She's definitely made a lot of strides since her NXT times and her debut into the main roster. What's up?
She had to say America a lot to get those cheers. I just want to throw that out there.
She did, yeah.
She has to mention the military. She has to mention
the homeland.
And we just wish that she started with that.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Those are that's kind of cheap pops to get. But.
I mean, the one time, I think the maddest I saw Marsh was when I said I was really fucking tired of the Super America throwing out stuff to the troops thing because it does annoy the shit out of me because it is cheap pops and I don't like it. I think I've always thought it's like patronizing to people in service.
Yeah.
As my view. I have no background. There's no way I could ever serve my country in any meaningful form. I'm a fat fuck. I say that. But to me, as an outsider, it's also annoying as shit whenever somebody comes out draped in the flag because it doesn't feel as genuine as you could do it. That's just me.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Former service member. I'm just not into her for how they're doing it.
Okay.
I think could be a bit more tasteful. I want her just to be like a strong character, like a strong woman.
I'd rather just be a strong mom. Just have her be the strong mama.
And instead, they're trying to go with this Liberty Bell from Glow. Actually, that's what Marsh said.
Yeah, she's literally Liberty Bell.
I've never seen anyone as much Liberty Bell as she is now.
That's a good point.
And I mean, it also like it in trying like I think they try and make her this. Part of what I don't like is they try and make her this ideal of a certain type of person. Like when she talks about making sandwich, I always go back to that shit, and I'm like,
I hate that so much. Oh, that infuriates me.
She's taking women back to the 1950s with that shit.
And I get it because I can appreciate peanuts. I like burlesque and all that stuff. But I think she should be like a drill sergeant. I think she is naturally that. Marine that ordering people around, and she just does it without even noticing.
I would,
Have you seen any of the footage of her behind the scenes at the performance center?
Yes.
Drilling people? Man.
Yeah.
It's a natural thing. So tap into that, man.
Yeah, you don't need to. And I think I always go back to that deliberate stuff because then I attach that to when you add the America-ness of it because I think of to me it comes off as a focus on a very specific type of person we're not going to reference who And I don't like that. I feel it feels patronizing. It feels like you're...
I know exactly.
Yes! You fucking know they wear hats.
Anyway.
That's what I think it is. And it's upsetting to me. I mean, again, I am not a person who served. The closest I came is my parents worked for the government. And I always thought it was cool what they did. And I do... it's just my perspective is different, but it does always to me feel like you have to support this because it's America.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's more nuanced, better ways to do that.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Rant over. So, the match was supposed to be Lacey Evans versus Sasha Banks. So Lacey Evans comes out. No Sasha Banks to be found. What happens is Bayley is on the Titantron and says Sasha Banks was in LA to finish her rap album. She doesn't have time to deal with you, blah, blah, blah. You suck, come back and fight me. Basically just calling Lacey out. So
fight me, motherfucker.
Yeah, so there is no match. What ends up happening is Lacey comes back or goes into the backstage. I think they actually cut the commercial too before. Yeah, and then they go backstage. Lacey goes to where Bayley was in front of her locker room, and she ends up getting ambushed by Bayley. And then Lacey turns it over. Bayley runs away. Typical heel face shit. So that was the backstage segment. We go into our next match, which was Braun Strowman versus Shinsuke Nakamura. What'd you think of that?
Why is it that on this show no one can say Shinsuke Nakamura's name without doing something weird with it? You and more. Why can't we just say Shinsuke Nakamura? I know it's like fun fucking name. It's a party in my mouth when I say the word.
Yeah. My tongue just wants to roll, dude.
Okay.
I really think of Sami Zayn and like, oh, how would he introduce him?
That's true. Sami Zayn is hype as shit every time.
Yeah, but which is weird because it also doesn't feel like his character. Because his character, I think it'd be funny if he just was like like if he deliberately played into that like part that everyone does. Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm gonna say his name fucking normal, unlike you assholes.
I really like Shinsuke Nakamura coming out draped in his like entrance attire, and then having Sami Zayn just freaking rocking out to a song, and then Cesaro on the other side just being like the enforcer. He looks like a real boss. I really like it.
Is he with those cuffs? Captain Ankles?
I didn't see
Oh, no. I think he's got new attire, actually.
Yeah.
I think he's got new attire. I think he's wearing trunks now.
I'm happy now.
I think he's wearing
that
trunks
was the most
again.
frustrating fucking because I just
Yeah, no, I think he's wearing trunks again.
he looks like he performs at a German discotheque.
He probably does.
Yeah.
He probably does. So yeah, that match. You know, I can't speak too much about it. I'm not the biggest Braun Strowman fan right now. It's really hard for them to push him for me because he's had so many opportunities in the past and has floundered. I don't see this guy winning the world title this year. Probably not next year either.
It's bad because I feel like in many ways they were pushing him to be the next Big Show.
Yeah.
And what's funny is they've brought back the Big Show.
Yeah.
Because the big.
Yeah. Who could have tagged with? Oh, never mind. Yeah, they brought back Big Show.
Yeah.
So that pretty nullifies his position as the big guy. Whatever.
And I mean, I feel like, well, part of me wants to be like, well, maybe it's how you've booked him or utilized him, but then as it goes on more and more, it's less that and more. I think it's
his character's kind of boring too.
Yeah, no, he needs I feel like he got a fresh coat of paint when he came back at WrestleMania. El ripped as fuck and it was cool, but then he's just dropped.
Yeah,
like he's just hung. It's
they
nothing.
Haven't booked him, but. For what it seems right now, looks like he's going to be in an Intercontinental scene against Shinsuke Nakamura. Braun Strowman picks up the victory against Shinsuke via running power slam, the finisher of his. And then he looks over the belt, basically declaring himself that he wants to win the title. That he wants to go after it. Holds the belt up. Sammy just like zoinks that belt out of his hands. What?
Would that be his, other than the fucking stupid green Saudi Arabia, would that be the first belt he gets?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
Tag.
God damn it! It's like
Tag. He
him
won
and
the tag.
Nicholas.
Yeah. So I think this the Intercontinental Championship run might be a couple steps too late for Braun, but you know it's progress if he does end up winning it, if that's what it leads to. So after that, we get a in-ring promo with Roman Reigns saying he doesn't need help of friends, he needs help of family. Introduces the Usos to come out.
Glad they're back.
I'm glad they're back too. It's funny how a little time off will do that to you. A little time off the spotlight will make people miss you.
Well, I never missed them. I was always happy when they came out. I'm happy they're back because I feel like the time off was a needed thing for them personally.
Yeah.
And I hope we don't have the outside of the ring stuff come back because I love their work. They are, in my eyes, other than their New Day, the best tag team performers, and they are better than the New Day in terms of technical wrestling. Their matches are always fucking great.
It was just getting to a point where they were being overused.
Yeah.
Because they were involved in the title. Basically, they were hot potatoing the title between Usos and New Day, and it was getting ridiculous. So
the week-to-week period where they the 7 time, the 8 time, the 9
yeah.
time.
Shaving back bit.
Yeah, the shaving back bit. I mean, God, man. Stop hair shaving people, okay? Jesus.
It's the one part of my body I don't shave.
So yeah, it was a promo that led to a tag match between the Usos versus King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler.
Why'd you say it's so German?
Why not?
It's a very German name, but yeah, it's always, it sounds much weirder when you say it like it should be pronounced by someone who speaks that language. Like, Dolph Ziggler.
I'm all about kayfabe, dude. Okay. And
It sounds way.
Ziggler should be a freaking German, like, badass character. I am Dolph Ziggler.
When you say it like that, he should be Walter.
yeah, he should be the
What would Dolph Ziggler's name be if we were going to give him a better? I mean, Nick Namath is a much more.
No, Nick Namath is a better.
Yeah, it's like you look like a Nick Namath. Like
Yeah.
I'm Nicky Namath.
Don't go by Nick Namath.
I would.
Nick with the just NIC. Don't go Nicky, please.
He's supposed. Come on, N-I-K-K-I. Nicky Namath.
So yeah, King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler go over the Usos via disqualification. Again, it was another match. I think Usos maybe should have gone over because it was their first match back. It would have been nice to see them get a clean victory. I think the crowd would really like that too.
Yep.
But alas, WWE does what WWE wants, and King Corbin is getting the push right now.
And in like 3 years, we're gonna have people like on Cultaholic and like What Culture do videos where they're gonna talk about like just like CM Punk lost because it was punishment. The Usos lost as punishment on their comeback match, and no, I think it's because they're not as hot.
Yeah, well, if they have a string of losses, then we can start thinking shit like that. But
And we should just start this YouTube channel and like beat them all to it.
yeah,
Fuck you, Simon Miller. We're winning now.
So that puts an end for SmackDown. We move on to Saturday. So we already talked about Test winning the Impact title. Some other notable news that happened over the weekend. It was reported that Brian Cage had signed with AEW, but that ended up being false. I think that actually came out today or yesterday that those reports were not 100% accurate. In fact, he is injured at the moment with a torn bicep. So there's not a whole lot of word what's going to happen with Brian Cage. Yeah.
The one thing.
It sucked because Brian Cage is something that AEW needs.
Yeah.
He's an established name. He's a freak. He looks like a champion. He's a face.
Mm-hmm.
They need him. So when I found out that there wasn't...
He's a living bicep. He tore himself.
That he tore himself. So, yeah, really disappointing that wasn't 100% true. That kind of made me interested in AEW.
Yeah. I was excited, and then fuck.
And then I was like, oh, damn it. So, yeah. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit about Blackpool 2. Just cover some of the things. I don't want to cover the whole show. just because.
Women.
Yeah, the women's is pretty much the main highlight for me. I really like that match. Let me get to it really quick. Yeah, so it's a triple threat between Kaylee Ray, Toni Storm, and Piper Niven.
I just love everyone's accents.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought it was... I think Kaylee Ray winning or retaining the championship was probably the least... what's the best word for this? Least exciting outcome. I kind of would have rather seen Piper win it.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a Piper fan. She's
Piper's
awesome.
badass.
Yeah, she's a badass.
Yeah, but there's build, right? I mean,
There's build to it, yeah. No, so they're building to it, and I think it's going to be building because Piper did take the pinfall in the match, which leads me to believe that they're building between Kaylee Ray and Piper. Also, because I think Toni Storm is going to be making more of a move to the United States NXT versus the UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's putting in a lot of work too. Toni Storm, she's all over the place right now. Another
Just building up those Delta miles.
Yeah, she's building up those memes too. Those posts on Twitter. Anyway. Another highlight for me, the NXT Tag Team Championship match, which was a ladder match. It was a shitstorm. It was a ladder match, dude. At one point, they had like 5 ladders up. It was nuts. But it was in a good way. A lot of good spots. I would recommend go back and watching that.
Yeah, I'm quiet because I did not watch this because I forgot.
Yeah.
I was cutting down trees.
Yeah.
I watched this right before you guys came over.
Was it a shitstorm?
It was insane.
Okay.
I was just like, wait, how is this not TLC?
Yeah, it was.
It's loud.
It was ridiculous. Actually, yeah. I don't know, man. If I were to say, I'll still say the women's match for me was my match of the night, just because I was most interested in that. And then the final match, the main event, we had Volta versus Joe Coffey. Volta winning, retaining. Wasn't the best match, especially being a main event. These two have had better matches prior to this. So I would say this was a little bit of a disappointment.
What made it not as great for you?
Maybe because I've seen them go at it so much already that this wasn't anything new. It was kind of slow at some point. It just didn't get me excited. I don't know.
But even if it was a shorter match, you just wouldn't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it just didn't really do it for me. And I'm a huge Walter fan. I think the other part too is I just didn't see Joe Coffey winning. Even after, I think he's won before too. I think in his prior matches with Walter, he's actually won. But I didn't see him winning the title. And this is actually his second main event for Blackpool TakeOver for the heavyweight title, and he lost. So Joe Coffey's 0-2 right now.
Do you think it's that maybe they're going to transition like them to the US because like putting Walter in the US like NXT or like in
Oh no, they are definitely. I'm predicting that they're going to be doing a lot more of cross UK and United States stuff.
I think it'd be cool if they took people from the US over there too, because that would be neat for those.
Well, after the match, guess what happens? Undisputed Era rated NXT Blackpool TakeOver.
It's like I'm a time traveler, but
You
shitty.
are, yeah, you called it. So yeah, at the end of the match, Walter is celebrating, and out comes the Undisputed Era and just beat the shit out of him. Basically declaring war on Imperium. So
The
good.
whole time I was like, bullshit, bullshit.
They got a huge pop, man. That Blackpool crowd was hot to see Undisputed Era. So, yeah, with everyone from the UK that we've seen come to the States, Kaylee Ray, Toni Storm, just to name a few, the UK tag teams in the Dusty Road Classic, now Undisputed Era going over there. You have Cassius Ohno going over there. Yeah, I definitely see them using the two brands together more, and that's what they should be doing. I think it only strengthens the UK brand by doing that.
Yeah.
And for a while, people were really getting down on the UK brand because they were taking talent from the independent scene in the UK and really killing off the independent scene, but at the same time not doing a whole lot with the talent that they were stealing. So if they're going to be featuring them more on the main NXT show, and even possibly feature them on pay-per-views for the United States, that's cool with me, man. I'd love to see Walter in more pay-per-views in the United States. He doesn't want to live here. He doesn't want to live in the United States. He doesn't want to be traveling. So I could see him doing some pay-per-views every now and then.
German that doesn't want to invade other countries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unique gimmick.
Unique gimmick. All right. So that's it for Saturday for me. You got?
I think it was listed out. Yeah. I just thought everyone in Imperium is just so good.
Imperium's awesome. I
It's
freaking love
crazy.
them.
Like I'm like, oh okay, I'm looking at Walsh, and then I watch the other guys. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, they're freaking cool.
All of the Germans are amazing.
Yeah. All right. So that takes us to yesterday. The most current episode of Monday Night Raw. Opens up. They opened up with the Brock Lesnar Paul Heyman promo, right?
Yeah.
Paul Heyman comes out with Brock Lesnar and cuts a hell of a promo, man. It's so funny because he comes out and the crowd are like, cheering. They're kind of cheering for him, right? They're cheering for Paul, and Paul goes on to insult them. And then like he starts doing the Brock Lesnar thing where he's like talking about Brock Lesnar and the crowd's like doing the shtick with him because it's a script and they know what he's saying. He like stopped. He's like, how stupid are you? I just insulted you and you're talking with me right now. I was like, God damn, he's awesome.
Well, it's like he came out, it's like in the middle of it, fuck, I have to like
Yeah. And then like
damn it.
And then after that, the crowd fucking hated him.
Good. Finally, fuckers get it.
Got legit heat after that.
And it sounded like it wasn't even, to me, it didn't sound like it was all scripted. I felt like they gave him like one line and then he just went off
Yeah.
on his own.
Yeah, I don't know if calling the people stupid and saying like, I just insulted you and you're talking with me right now, stupid.
Well, I like that he sometimes like we know that there's like famous stories of like you have to come out and they're supposed to be booing you, so they have to get the cheapest heat.
Yeah.
And he can do it in the middle, like fuck it, we're doing this now, and like change the gears, and just he knows how to do it better than like basic things like shitting on like their sports team or something like that.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman's the best.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
best.
Yeah, so after that, they started chanting, "You suck." They did not like that.
Another funny thing he could have done, I think, to get instant heat, like, you know what? You guys know what I'm going to say? I'm going to give it to Brock.
Just like Brock talk. Oh, fuck you, Paul!
Just see Brock like,
What?
fuck! With his weird high voice.
Yeah. So we get an interruption. Paul gets interrupted by none other than R-Truth.
What was funny with this, if they had extended that pause for his music to hit, I think it would have been better. Because I think that was the scripted line. Because his music played it was truth, and the music plays like, pause.
Yeah.
It would have been good, but no. I liked it. I liked seeing R-Truth come out.
Yeah, so R-Truth comes out
Hold on, let me hit you, Paul.
and does some just classic comedy stuff, man. He's so good at comedy. Comes out, cuts a promo, talks about his childhood hero, John Cena, Tom, to never give up.
He's making so many comments that Brock is dying.
Yeah.
Brock had to like turn around, you can still see him laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, he corpsed. He definitely corpsed. I don't think... you see Brock like standing there laughing, and I'm like, damn, is he just like really cracking up right now?
But you know, also he's like legit pissed. Like Brock doesn't want to crack this facade. Like motherfucker.
He's making me laugh. Truth declares himself to be in the Rumble. Declares himself to be in the Rumble because he is going after Paul Heyman. His delivery is much better than mine, but it's revealed that R-Truth is actually talking about Paul Heyman with all of this promo, and that he would be the one to throw Paul Heyman over the top rope.
Paul Heyman's like, I'm not in the
Paul Heyman looks at Brock like, who the hell is this guy? And proceeds to tell Truth that he is not in the Rumble, but Brock Lesnar is. R-Truth then decides to withdraw his name from the Royal Rumble because he does not want any part of that. So he undeclares himself from the Royal Rumble and starts to dance and try to walk away. And ends up getting slammed by Brock Lesnar with an F5.
I'm bouncing because I have something I really, really want to happen. I wish this were mid-2000s WWE.
Uh-huh.
And Paul Heyman gets selected for it, like how they would randomly pull someone,
yeah.
and you see him back go out and be like, what the fuck? And then he slowly makes his way to the ring. 10, 9, and the crowd's focusing on him. R-Truth comes out. He's like, I'm back in!
I really wish that this would lead to an R-Truth Brock Lesnar thing.
Who takes the belt off Brock Lesnar? R-fucking-Truth. He goes out. It's his last run. I'm okay with him getting...
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, he can do things. He is a decent worker. But he's also so funny.
Yeah. Well, and what led me to believe that could... It's not. But in my fantasy booking... so he gets knocked out after that. R-Truth is being helped back up after commercial break. Is being helped up the ramp, and Mojo Rawley comes out and attacks R-Truth to take the 24/7 title off of him. So now R-Truth doesn't have a belt. R-Truth was kind of feuding with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar and got his butt kicked. Royal Rumble's coming up. Man, I don't know. The possibilities are endless for me, dude.
R-Truth inadvertently, in the shittiest way, wins the belt from Brock Lesnar, wins the championship, looks at it, calls out Mojo and says, I want to trade. Not fight, just trade. And just gives it to Mojo, who's just like, what? I kind of wanted Brock to take the fucking 24/7 belt and have
Me too.
Mojo, or have Brock R-Truth. R-Truth wins inadvertently, doesn't give a shit about the championship, just pulls them.
Damn, yeah. Actually, Brock taking the 24/7 title and going into WrestleMania, or not WrestleMania, but Royal Rumble with the 24/7 belt would have been hilarious.
We could see Brock Lesnar chasing the jobbers.
Yeah.
Not just like usually. What are all these? What is Eric Young doing sprinting out? And you just
you see like a line of them, and then you see Brock chasing after them. Oh my!
And then
God, that'd been hilarious.
Oh, let's see.
We got ideas.
Hire us.
My email is KLUMPYI@gmail. If you want to throw an offer out to us.
Yeah, so I do hope that this gets called into the Royal Rumble, and I hope that R-Truth ends up being the one that takes Brock Lesnar over the rope. And I think they could do that.
That would be the best fucking thing ever.
Because I don't think it makes Brock Lesnar look bad for R-Truth to get his revenge. And at the same time, you're not necessarily setting somebody up explicitly to be the next person in line to challenge Brock for the title.
Okay.
You're not creating any story.
Okay.
So it's not interfering with whoever ends up winning the Royal Rumble.
Right.
I don't know. Do you think he's going to be the Iron Man? Do you think Brock Lesnar is going to be the Iron Man this year?
No, because Brock Lesnar likes to get on his fucking plane as fast. We're doing the Royal Rumble at the beginning of this? Because if Brock Lesnar ain't winning, we all know well, the rumor of backstage is Brock Lesnar, if he's not winning, he ain't going to stay. So he'll be there for 30 seconds. I think it'd be cool. I think Lesnar has this aura of dominance about him, but it is really fucking cool when he goes out there and shows that he's a mean motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I think it would be cool. I like when you occasionally have those Royal Rumbles where it's a person being fed people and just eliminating people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's cool ways to do it. I could see Lesnar just beating down people, not eliminating them, and letting the ring fill up.
Mm-hmm.
And then people kind of having an offense against him, and he just goes fuck it and just eliminates everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to see him German suplex someone over the rope. As dangerous as a bump as that would be, that would be cool as hell.
Want to see people die? Shit, dude.
A little bit.
WatchPeopleDie.com? Just kidding. Don't go there. I don't even know if it's real exists.
It's
on Reddit though, but don't go there.
No, I think that one got banned.
Oh, it did? Okay. Anyway, talking about dark web shit. Man, this is not chronological at all. This is not.
Okay, so that promo happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what's next. That's Was it?
Wasn't it Drew?
Yeah, I think it was a triple threat. So I think what happened was Randy Orton comes out, cuts a promo. AJ comes out, talks some crap, talks about how he does a better RKO than RKO himself. I agree. Just kidding. And then Drew McIntyre comes out, and he seems to be the smartest guy there. And he's like, hey, all three of us are out here. I'm looking for a fight. Let's fight. So that's how you get the match started on Raw in 2020.
Yeah.
You just do that. Drew McIntyre goes over by pinning AJ Styles.
Which is cool. I think Drew could be... I like...
And it wasn't a dominating thing, too. It was one of those situations... actually, RKO, Randy actually hits the Styles Clash on AJ Styles. So they are trading finishers on each other.
I kind of get anyone... I get the idea of taking the RKO because it's like... Hey, this is way easier than my dumbass long to do complex finish.
Yeah. So that happened basically. Next was that Ricochet and Mojo Rawley?
Yeah, so this is way earlier in the show. Yeah, Ricochet had a great showcase because the Brock promo was way late. I think what happens here is it goes like, what are the highlights?
Yeah,
and then,
the highlights. So Ricochet, I believe it was his hometown too.
Paducah?
They were in Kentucky. So
they were at the University of Kentucky.
So it's close. It's close to his hometown. Yeah.
Paducah is almost it's a suburb of Cincinnati, Ohio.
No, he's from Kentucky.
Paducah, Kentucky is a suburb of Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati's on the river. Cincinnati's very close to. That's why Ohio Valley Wrestling is in Kentucky.
Okay.
Because the Ohio Valley's in both.
Geography's weird.
That was my subject in school.
We all got a geography lesson from Clump today. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
You lead it.
Fine, you fucking didn't jump in.
Fuck you, Clump.
But yeah, Ricochet. I didn't want to like this because I kind of feel like bad that Ricochet's this far down where he's going at Mojo, but
he got the win.
Yeah, we also haven't seen him do shit. So yeah, I want to see more Ricochet in matches, and it's a good showcase for him. I just want to have this lead to like more like interesting opponents, like
substance. Give me some substance for the Ricochet because he can work and he can do shit with the best of them.
Yeah, it does feel weird when you see him like not appearing forever and then like going against Mojo after he had these feuds with AJ Styles and had a moment at WrestleMania. You know, it's like, okay, give him more. I think it'd be awesome.
Yep.
So that was cool. Then wasn't it? It was Flair beating Sarah Logan.
You get the Street Profits backstage promo first.
God damn it!
Which is weird because it's making the Street Profits more like the MCs of the show. I don't know because they're like providing meta commentary. It was really weird. I'm just not a big fan of it. And Dawkins is just the worst promo guy ever. But
his promo is like his promo is and then something dumb. Like, and also like it feels so old and not in a good way. Like I want to like him. I like Montez Ford. I like how hyped up he is.
And at the same time, Montez was way over the top.
Yes. Dawkins, I feel it's like, okay, get it, you're high in women. Mm-hmm. Like, because a lot of times it's like,
bro, you just got married or you're engaged.
Yeah.
So cool down with that shit, okay?
Yeah. Like when it's just like this, okay, I know you're going to talk about a woman performer because he does this shit every time.
What's he going to say now?
Me talking about women but not being as objectifying, but also kind of being objectifying because you realize all I talk about is women.
So, yeah, they provide this weird commentary. They bring up the Oscars because that's relevant. It's recent or whatever. And then they introduced Charlotte Flair, which was just the weirdest thing for me to see them introduce a wrestler that has nothing to do with them. It's like, obviously they fed you these lines. Like, this was not a true promo.
They're the old guys from the Muppets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
now this.
Yeah. So that leads us into Charlotte Flair versus Sarah Logan, which, we kind of had an idea was going to be a little bit of a squasher.
It's been weird that they've been pushing Sarah Logan for a few weeks just to have her crushed.
Yeah. Thoughts?
I just like seeing her. I like that they're trying to build her a little bit.
I like that they're doing different with her. I like her face paint. I like how she enters the ring, like she goes off this side. I definitely, and this is like a weird nitpicky thing, but I like her hair a lot better now because I hated it when it was just like super dreadlocky, super nappy. It really bugged me. I was like, damn, she probably stinks, man.
With few exceptions, dreadlocks on white people it's a red flag of smell. Like it's gonna smell like patchouli or ass.
Yeah.
I always like her new look. I want her to come out with like some sort of weapon for some reason. Like I want her to bow and arrow was my first thought, and then next I was like, oh, maybe axe. Like I don't know.
I have a feeling at what point are they going to merge her with the Viking Raiders, and she's going to be the female component of that, which is cool. I'm down for it.
I'm cool with that too.
She's
Actually, I was thinking of that too. Like they should just do it.
One of them.
They should pull the trigger.
No.
Yeah, Eric.
Oh yeah, but his is spelled weird.
Yeah.
Also, that's why
ERIK.
Why do I hate the Viking Raiders? It's not that they're doing squash matches. It's that Eric spelled wrong.
Eric Rowe.
Alright, so that match happened.
That match happened. We already, I think, was that? Wait. So blah blah blah. Then the promo. Wait. So what? I don't know what the timeline now. Now I'm getting really confused.
Wasn't it that then the Lashley Rusev bullshit?
Yeah. So we go into the Lashley thing. Again, they go into the vignettes, they go into the recaps, and they have like special filters and music and everything for this, and I don't like it, man. I'm so tired of seeing the wedding. I'm tired of talking about it. It's very Maury Povich for me, and I would just like to move on from it.
No, Maury Povich is fun and doesn't take... Maury Povich is fun to watch high.
Yeah.
This was not fun to watch high. This felt very long and very annoying. This is the longest segment in WWE in many years.
Yeah, and this is, again, we've had Bobby Lashley versus Rusev several times, so this is really nothing new.
I fell asleep.
I fell asleep.
I legit fell asleep, and I did not mean to.
Yeah, legit fell asleep too. Guys, just put this on in the beginning. Just get it done in the beginning so we can be done with it for the rest of the episode. Yeah. When you sandwich it in, you're really screwing it up for hour 3.
What large group, because it's a large group of fans, because otherwise I wouldn't do it. There's this group of fans that likes this shit. It's the same people that I feel like when they... I connect these to the people that when they try and push Lacey Evans in a certain way, it's that group of people they're trying to get. I'm like, y'all fuckers like this. And I fucking hate that you people watch... Like, that you genuinely like this. You're the person who thinks this is real. I feel like I don't care. And it's just... Do better. Do so much better. This is... My only hope out of this, the only positive I can see out of this is that Liv and Rusev get hella pushes after, and 2021 Rusev is the champion of everything.
I feel really bad because this storyline does not make me interested in either of them.
Yeah, no,
I really like Rusev. I am so excited for Liv, and this is like killed it for me.
And
absolutely killed it.
Liv did a hell of a job selling the throw.
Oh yeah, and I said that shit. I said that on WWE on Fox. They're like, oh, everyone's like, oh wow, look at Lana. Lana did this one move, and I was like, yeah, because that was Liv doing that move.
Yeah, you see Liv throw herself into the barricade. I was like, damn, dude.
Liv, the Bret Hart.
Yeah. Making Lana look good.
Making Natty look like a shitty heart.
So yeah, Liv had some soda thrown in her face. And then she got her hair pulled, thrown into the barricade. She was donezo. Bobby Lashley gets a sneaky victory over Rusev. So they're just really flip-flopping between the two of them.
I'm getting tired from talking about this.
Liv's last line is, you remember?
Mm-mm.
Karma's a bitch.
Karma's a bitch.
Straight up so.
Okay.
Well, something's gonna happen.
Something.
So
aren't they leading to a mixed match challenge now too?
That's what I'm thinking. They're leading to a mixed match. So after that, we get Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy, right?
Part 7.
Yep.
Part 7. Yeah, these guys have been going at it forever. Buddy Murphy takes another takes another defeat at the hands of Aleister Black. 2 blast mass kicks. Go ahead.
And it felt like that was a fuck up. It felt like that was a botch because that first Black Mass looked amazing.
Yeah.
And then the second one looked good, but it looked like there's a ref fuck up.
Yeah.
Like it looked like the ref stopped counting. I was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah. Like it would have been fine. They do good matches. But it's if there's not a point to it, if it's not a best of series, I don't know what it's for. It's a pride thing. I did like what happened after.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a great way to do this, but I feel like this could have been built in earlier. Yeah.
So, Buddy Murphy takes the. I keep wanting to say he fucking wins. He takes the L. He loses the match, okay? And he just kind of sits there, very upset about it.
Still there.
Goes into commercial break. We come back, and we get the introduction of the next match. Well, actually, no. What happens is a squash match. It's Eric Rowan versus Enhancement Talent Squash. We don't even really need to talk about that. Eric Rowan gets bit by whatever's in the cage.
And you couldn't give a fuck less because Buddy's still out there, and that's and that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And you're more concerned about what Buddy's going to do. So he's still out there. So that's one match that goes by. Now we get the main event for the evening, which is Seth Rollins and the AOP versus Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and the Big Show
In a fisting contest.
in a fisticuffs match.
They kept saying like a fist fight, and I kept
Fist fight.
the amount of times they said it, I was just like in my head, fisting contest. I developed fisting jokes for this show.
Yeah.
Big Show's got big hands. I'm scared.
So the match goes on. Faces look like they're going to get the victory. I believe Big Show gets ready to clock Seth Rollins with the Fist of Doom. Yeah, that's his punch, dude.
No, if you're, I'll write up on this. If you're going to do fisting, you do that. It's actually that motion first, and then you get because it's like I said. Okay, I'm done now.
So that happened.
Safety.
So Rollins was imploring Murphy to do something because he's just there. So as Big Show goes in for the kill, for his big kill punch, whatever he freaking calls it.
The big punch.
The big punch.
That's a good name for it. Just call it
the big punch.
Because I think they called the knockout punch, which is stupid as shit. Just call it the big punch.
Yeah, big punch, Big Show punch. So as he's going for the punch, Buddy Murphy hits him with a low blow and causes the faces to lose.
And Buddy Murphy moved up the card.
Yeah, so basically Seth Rollins and AOP end up taking the victory over Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Big Show. At the end of it, Seth Rollins faces or has his face off with Buddy Murphy, and they hug. And looks like he kind of like hugs him in. You didn't see that? Yeah.
High, very high.
Yeah, no, he basically he's the Messiah. Like right now they're playing like he really is CrossFit Jesus.
Oh, goddamn.
Seth Rollins is CrossFit Jesus right now. So he hugs Buddy Murphy as his new disciple, new person of the group that they have. What are they called, by the way? Have they made a stable name yet?
Languages.
I think they were asking. They were asking what people were interested in. They're like, name this group.
ESL.
Shut up. So yeah, now Buddy Murphy is the fourth member of the Seth Rollins faction stable that has yet to be titled. So far, they're just kind of the Authors of Pain because that's the coolest name that they have right now.
Comeback with their second novel.
So, my prediction is next week main event will be a 8-man tag team match. Let's just throw Aleister Black on the face side now.
Midway through February, we're going to have a 30-man match.
Yeah.
Not a Royal Rumble, a match.
Yeah, the Seth Rollins faction.
Yeah.
All the heels versus all the faces. That's main event.
R-Truth will in there showcase and fuck up Brock Lesnar. And will be the winner.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
Oh man, what a shit show we had today, guys. But we made it through the week.
Yeah.
Man, it was just between all of the Twitter shit and
Oh, we missed Zelina and Andrade.
They cut a promo.
Talking about Mysterio. Again.
Oh yeah. Mysterio says he's gonna take, or Andrade's gonna take it off of Mysterio.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty much it.
So yeah, they could be leading to a mask versus hair. I don't know if I was Andrade, I'd want to do that because he's kind of been working on that hair, growing it out for a while. So
I mean, this is so tiring because they've all like. It was exciting to see Mysterio facing someone else and say, "Oh, cool, we're going to put the Hispanics back together. Guys, do well together.
Yeah.
You're a passionate people. Just do.
You're passionate
You're a
people.
passionate, fiery Latin passion. Just, I mean, and if you're going to do that, do LWO 2.0 because that would be cool as fuck.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get some LWO, but no.
Rey Mysterio had that Chalkline shirt, and I was like, oh, maybe they're going to go back to WCW times and they're going to make this happen. But no. Nope.
No, in fact, oh shit. In fact, we still haven't heard from Humberto Carrillo, right? He's been out.
Yeah.
He's been out for a few weeks now since he got beaten up.
Yeah.
Who knows what's gonna happen? I got to be honest with you. I'm not really interested in Andrade versus Mysterio right now.
It's going to be a good match.
And I was just gonna say that it's gonna be a good match. And it'll probably always be a good match, but
I think there's a thing that there needs to be like a recognition of this. Like, just because this is going to be a good match doesn't mean it's a match we need to have all the time. Because when you do that, you minimize it. Like, we talk about bad matches, we talk about like once in a lifetime matches, but there's this in the middle weird shitty thing where it's like you've made this happen so much, and yeah, it's gonna be great, but I don't give a fuck about it because you've done so much. It's Buddy Murphy, Aleister Black. It's
yeah, when we got Buddy Murphy, Aleister Black 1, we were hyped about it because that was a really good matchup.
too decent.
And then they just
It's like Ricochet and Alistair.
yeah, that too. Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, like, and doing them in rapid succession. It's like Marsh is excited. Marsh has this theory or excitement for another Sammy KO match, which but I'm like they've at least held that apart so far because I don't know how many more times I could see it because I'm thinking back to like I've seen El Generico and Steen. I've seen this over and fucking over. We need a reason for reason's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So that covers the week, man.
Yeah.
A lot of ups, a lot of downs. Producer, you got anything to say?
Obituaries.
Oh, yes. So we did have a couple passings this week, unfortunately. La Parca, who suffered a horrendous neck injury in November and was never able to recover from it.
And succumb to the injuries, unfortunately.
Yeah, he succumbed to the injuries a couple days ago.
Yeah, over the weekend.
Yeah, over the weekend. Very sad news, especially since it was something that we all witnessed. It's never good to see shit like that. And it's just a reminder that this isn't it's
like it's a cliched line, but this isn't ballet as accurate. It's a difficult thing because I think when you're a kid, this is fighting.
Mm-hmm.
When you get older, this is drama.
Mm-hmm.
When you get older, still you realize this is drama with
a lot of danger.
Yes, it's a stunt show.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a reminder to us all that this is dangerous and that these performers are putting themselves at risk for our entertainment on a weekly basis, and we should be grateful for everything that they do for us and be grateful for the time that we are able to enjoy with them, because things can happen, accidents can happen at any time, and unfortunately this is one of the times where we lose one of the great ones to something, a freak accident. It's something that they've done. What was it? Just a suicide.
I think it was a plancha with a weird landing.
Yeah, it's something that's done.
And it was Rush, right?
Yeah, and it was Rush too, a well-known guy. So, but the point is, it's a move that's executed in every other professional wrestling match with no consequence, and this particular time, it went wrong. So, thoughts and prayers go out to the family of La Parca and anyone involved with that too, because I just can't imagine being there.
Yeah, and sorry.
You go.
And it is something like I think the unfortunate part of this as well, or my hope actually, is that people in circles that aren't familiar take the time to like look up and watch matches that La Parca was in, because you know, he was never a guy who got like to that notoriety, that fame of like Rey Mysterio or.
And he's not the same one that we know about. Okay, remember, there's different Laparcas.
He's
Okay.
not chairman.
Yeah, not the chairman. So.
Yeah. But take a look and watch this iteration's work. He is truly a performer of incredible note, of incredible importance to lucha libre, to Mexican wrestling, to wrestling. He's done so much, and he, you know, like, was a highlight, especially, like, he's an old fucking dude, and he did great work.
That's another thing I was gonna say too. Yeah, and the lucha libres, man, they go well past what American professional wrestlers go, and they wrestle into their 50s and 60s, and they don't hold back. So that wasn't the only one that happened. Producer
Oh yeah, Kendo Nagasaki.
Kendo Nagasaki. That's a gentleman I'm not too familiar with,
Yeah.
unfortunately. What was the? It wasn't an accident though, right? He just
No,
it was
71.
it was a timely
But
natural
still.
causes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we thoughts and prayers go out to the families of Kendo Nagasaki. I guess let's end this on a good note, since we got kind of somber. Today is Hacksaw Jim Duggan's birthday,
Which,
and he's a friend of the show.
yes,
So
if
let's,
Hacksaw is going through your town, please go watch it. Go watch his one-man show. It's amazing. He's
Yeah.
a great guy.
so we'll end the show. We got some comments.
Oh, we did. Oh, nice. Yeah, thanks. We did our NWA belt.
Oh,
Thank
nice.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got the belt from.
Oh, nice. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's really awesome. Always rocking NWA stuff. So.
I didn't know. I mean, we ended on a happy note, but we also missed all the controversy of Triple H.
Yeah, you know what? At a certain point, what needs to be brought up, you know, and that's something that was brought up in I believe, conference call. I don't know, man.
No, it was like recorded.
It was recorded?
No, it was like a public.
It was like an interview.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it wasn't.
I feel bad for him, honestly. And the reason I say this, and this thing gonna sound really shitty, but I feel like as a figure in that level, that question coming up, it sucks. And what can you do but answer it? The unfortunate thing is the way he answered it came off pretty bad. But I can also empathize that how the fuck do you answer it?
Yeah.
Like, you want to be hopeful and positive, because I feel like the answer is more applicable to Edge, and maybe that's why he threw it out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Edge, but then I don't think in the back of his head he's thinking about Paige and that, like, in the rest of it and the back into it and everything else. There's so much baggage and so much that has happened to her that make that answer come a lot harder to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't read too much into it,
Oh, okay.
so I don't want to say a whole lot.
Also,
I disagree with you. Just knowing all the mental anguish that she went through when all that crap went down, which was none of it legal. We're talking about the stuff that got leaked. None of it was legal. None of it was cool. She went through a hell of a lot. Is still suffering from that. Like getting back and people attacking her for that crap. And so I think it was just really, really poor choice of words as a corporate leader. As a corporate leader, like, you are completely different. You're not in the locker room, quote unquote.
and in a sense, the reason I threw out what I said is I agree with you 100%. Is that with regard to her, that is absolute shit. The reason I said what I said is that I feel like the only thing I can think of as a positive is I don't think he was aiming to be mean to her. But I feel like it was a poor lapse on a person's mind where he probably didn't even think about that, and
I know.
he needs to, and in a sense also hold him to account. It's like, yeah, dude, you fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I've seen so much in defense of Paige, and I cannot imagine the anguish that she's gone through. And I think that everything she's gone through inside and outside of the ring, that has, like, from the injuries to what happened with that individual and those leaks, is fucked, and that's horrible. I wanted to throw out one thing for someone else in here that I feel like he fucked up, but I could see this not being like the intent. But also, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I'm bad at English.
It's been a long night.
what else
Yeah.
we got coming up?
Oh, other positive? Jushin Thunder Liger's retirement was awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was definitely a good thing. Talk about legendary career and someone who did it right. He had he was able to go till the very end, man, till his last day. He went and did his absolute best. What's up?
You guys missed it, actually. Martian Kevlar. Marsh was describing how the guy was just like crying. They just did like this whole thing. And like,
Yeah, there were a lot.
It was
Yeah.
great. It was amazing.
It was pretty sweet because you would see grown ass Japanese men that are generally pretty hard and pretty.
Oh yeah.
They don't cry.
Well, there was one that was the ceremony, and it was Tomohiro Ishii's idol, and the guy was very, very injured and very, very sick, and he came in the ring, and Tomohiro Ishii is a very scary looking man, and he's bawling, and it made him so much scarier. Like, oh no,
Yeah.
like this, like he's my height, but he's like all muscle, like crying, like oh shit.
Yeah. So, as far as what to look forward to, we got Dynamite NXT tomorrow.
People talking about Rumble.
We got the Rumble. Yeah, so that's a week from this Sunday. Again, we are planning on doing a watch along for the Rumble, and most likely you'll be joined by myself and Clump.
Yeah.
Maybe Kevlar. We'll see. Probably not though. Just probably the two of us. Yeah. Producer also will be here too. So SmackDown Friday, Raw Monday. Just another week in professional wrestling. No pay-per-views to speak of right now. And yeah, producer, do you want to save your predictions for next week, or do you want to do an early prediction right now?
No, I haven't really thought of it
Okay.
too much. You guys?
No.
Save it.
No.
Ciampa.
Ciampa's his, Baszler's mine for the women's, and that's where I'm at right now. So
Should I like come up like next week? I'm gonna try and think of a better, like an equally outlandish women's prediction.
yeah, for next week, I'm gonna try and have some good predictions for the Royal Rumble, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah, I think otherwise, should we do last call?
Yeah, I think that's the last call.
Cool.
Everyone, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure. This has been Wrestling on the Rocks. Follow us on Twitter, WOTR the show.
Yeah.
Yes, I got it right. You can follow me at GR Lunar. You can
Follow me at Crybaby Clump.
Yep.
Don't know my password again.
What the fuck, man?
Oh my god.
When I get up there, I'm going to show you guys all what I did to my yard. I cut down a bunch of trees. I'm doing William Regal man's man training to get in shape.
He's in the manly man gimmick right now.
Manly man gimmick.
All right.
Cutting
It's
down
been
trees.
an awesome night. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's cheers one more time.
Yeah.
Have a good week, folks.
Because we don't reference you enough.